Diablo, the Lord of Terror's semi-celestial binds are weakening, allowing him to walk among the mortal world in search of his brothers, the demon lords, Mephisto and Baal. As he draws nearer to his brethren, Diablo's power grows and will eventually permit him to shed his mortal coil. Together, the brothers, also known as the Three Prime Evils, seek out the World Stone, the heart and soul of this world, with the ultimate goal of corrupting the World Stone and controlling humanity, drawing ever closer to reality. A small band of adventurers has been plucked from distant realms and thrown together in this new world, placed upon a path with the aim of stopping this corruption before it can consume everything and spread to other dimensions. Welcome to the world of Sanctuary.
Hey, welcome back to Abracadagger. If you're watching, I've noticed there are quite a few viewers who are not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that like button. If you're new and you're kind of jumping in last, something you found and it's, more of a recent episode, go to the channel, man, and start from the beginning. It's been a long, interesting, but fun story and ride. But give me a like, leave some comments, let me know what you didn't like, let me know what you do like, and we're gonna jump right into this. Now, unfortunately, the person that normally does our recap is busy at the moment, so you're gonna have to hear my ugly voice instead for the recap. So here we go. Last week, our adventurers we're still kind of getting some last minute preparations done with before they headed to this place. They needed to first off find a location or figure out how to get a location that they could teleport to without ending up inside of a brick wall in some other freaking plane of existence. But Deckard Cain helped with that by giving Rowan, sharing with her an image from his past that she could lock onto and use the wand to teleport everyone there to Harrogath. Prior to that, Boros had found an old book in the library and needed a translation from Deckard, which helped him with something that he may use in the future. It seemed like there was a spell or something in there he learned. Thebe was given a bag of some good from their old friend Trivana, that he was instructed to consume via smoking within a 72-hour window. So when he started smoking it, he had to finish the entire batch within 72 hours. No idea what that's all about yet. Rowan, I guess, foreseeing a grim future, planted something in a pot on the top of the palace overlooking the ocean. I think it was it a ring? Was it your sister's ring?
Yep.
Yeah. Apparently she thinks I'm gonna kill her before she gets out of here. She's not gonna be able to bring that home. So I don't know. We'll see. But they finally managed to get all their stuff together and teleport to this new place Harrogath, which they had learned was under siege by Baal's minions. And once they landed, they saw that siege taking place with some creatures they've never seen before, some fairly large humans, looked like probably some type of barbarian clan, bringing the fight to the creatures just outside the gates of the city. A little bit of damage to some of the walls that line the city, and they landed on a bluff kind of overseeing this battle below them, and right next to one of these humans who had just finished off a group of these monsters as the man turned towards the group and said something in a foreign language that they didn't quite understand, and with no response forthcoming that he could understand, Vec stepped forward to try and tell the guy, the man, that we're friends. He put his arm out there like to shake hands, and not understanding that the man attacked Vec, and that is pretty much. Oh, and then Draven was like, "Don't worry about this guy. Our actions will speak louder than words." And into the fray. Yes, he's just like, fuck it, we're gonna go out here and fight these thousands of monsters. And I think that's where we left off. So let me get everybody back on that map, which I should have preloaded and I forgot to. But did I leave anything out, everybody? Does that sound pretty much like how it happened?
Draven decided to take charge of the party's leadership.
Yep. He is sick of the shenanigans and the fights taking so long, and yeah, I guess. So, yeah, with that, we're gonna head back over here to this. We'll see how it goes once everybody's loaded. Let's do this. All right. Once again, we are here just immediately. We picked it up immediately after this guy, this human, slammed Vec with his weapon, and Draven made his little comment about, "Don't worry about him. We have, our actions will speak for us." So that's what we're picking up. What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to try to stop Draven. It looks like he's gonna make he's trying to go forward into the battlefield, right? Or is he just standing there making that comment?
Sure, he's going forward to the battlefield. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah. Wait, no, I don't think we should charge down there. I'm like staring at all the enemies on the field. I'm like,
we need to get into the city.
Again, if somebody didn't remember or whatever, each one of these creatures on the battlefield represents probably 10 of these creatures. I just didn't want to have that much shit on the map because it would load it. It would bog it down.
Well, how else do you propose we get to the city if not through them?
Also,
that way? I say pointing to the left.
Also, if you can't tell, oh shit, all through here, these guys, this is all dead enemies, like just a field of dead through this direction here. There's a few living that are in the middle of fights right now, but yeah, those are mostly dead. And the river seems to be frozen over.
Okay. Yeah, Draven like turns and looks at the party. Look, if you want to get to the city, we can't stop here anyway. The only way there is down.
Have you considered communicating with this man? He may know a way into the city we cannot think of.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Vic tried, and see where that got him.
Because you waved your hand in his face, I say, walking forward.
Maybe, someone human-looking should talk to the.
Yes, of course.
giant.
Everyone do what I do. Draven pulls out his weapon, looks towards the man, and bends down on a knee holding up his weapon. As if saying, here, take my weapon, disarm me, like, we are not here to hurt you. The idea is that we're presenting our weapons to him on the battlefield. I don't know, I feel like that one.
Am I getting hit again?
Oh, this dude, he ain't letting up. Like, y'all didn't answer him. Vex, this 7'9" fucking beast-looking guy in front of him. Yeah,
Oh, we
Nah,
did
I
answer
would've-
him.
I
We
would've
answered
raged
him,
after
but
the
not
first
in a
hit.
language he understood.
I would have raged after the first hit. Fuck that.
okay. I mean, I'll cut the damage in half, but yeah, I crit you. Sorry, dude.
Cool, it's still half.
Yep.
When you finish that, like I did say I was walking up because I didn't hear you say he stopped attacking him. I would like to try and I'm gonna try and grapple this dude.
Okay. Yeah, he's like he very much looks just reckless abandon. Like he is
Yeah.
just going ham on Vec.
In a frenzy. I'm gonna try and catch the underarm, and I think that's two things. So I'm gonna catch him on the underarm and kind of try to push him back and pin him in one place, even if it's just hitting me. And I would, kind of yell to try and get his attention, but
Okay. First off, give me an intimidation check to see if you can even stutter him for a second, and make him hold up on his attacks. And then after that, give me those grapple checks, man. Yeah, as he comes in, as soon as he swings that second time at Vec, and you see Vec now also kind of getting into that rage mode. It looks like there's about to be a fight here. He immediately pulls back to swing again, and you holler at it. You holler something at him, and he looks at you for a second, and you see now the slight twist of the sorry, it's not an axe. It's a maul. It's a huge club with spikes on the end. You see a slight twitch in his wrist, and you know his next swing is gonna come at you.
yeah, I'd like to immediately, as I yell, "Hey!" I rush forward and I'm gonna go ahead and has he lowered the maul? Because
no.
otherwise,
He's just,
lowered the maul in a swing. You know what I mean? Like he's gearing up to swing. Like where is the momentum coming from? Up or
the
down?
momentum right now. He's swung, pulled back. He was fixing to swing again, so it's
Okay.
kind of up, almost baseball bat like, and he's turning to bring it towards you now.
Okay. Then I think I will go ahead and just take the time to just tackle him, if you'll let me, for my grapple.
Yeah. It's
Alright.
it's gonna be opposed checks here.
Alright.
I'm gonna use.
Oh no. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. We don't have to. I'll risk it for the biscuit. No, wait. This is after my 2 shitty rolls, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can give that to him.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, because I rolled a total of 30.
Okay. I'm gonna give him one of the 6s.
Yep, that'll drop it down below yours. So in this instant, you see, in like the blink of an eye, you see yourself. You kind of step back and watch yourself, almost another version of yourself, step forward and get slammed on the ground, and then you see another one, almost at the same time, grab a hold of the guy, and the dude just slings you over the cliff. And then you see another one where, like, you see all these possibilities just happening, and then you see one where you actually go in and slide your arm up under his to lock it in place so he can't finish the swing, and stop him and push him back. And as you see that happen, you kind of step forward into that moment, and you're there, kind of locked in with him.
Yep. Having kind of stopped, an assault for the time being. Someone find a way to calm him down now!
I'm gonna give everybody.
Vec knows a way.
I'm gonna give everybody a few seconds, and then he's gonna continue his assault on now his new target.
Is he grappled
He is grappled for the moment.
and restrained?
Yeah, but he can still attack his restrainer.
Oh, that's fine. Because Vec is gonna start freaking blowing like freaking blows into his abdomen.
I mean, if you're gonna attack him, I'm gonna step in the way and take the attacks. It's not helping. So I'll take him. Do it. I'll take him. Do it.
Does anybody have a way to communicate with him?
Draven's bent on a knee. Why is no one listening to me?
You know what?
Thank you, Simon.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. I try to form a psychic connection with this guy.
Just him?
And, well, I try to whip up the group.
How many can you get now?
Shit.
Yeah, because I don't.
I think
6,
I
right?
think it caps out at 6, right?
everybody in our party, I'm pretty sure. Let me...
Yeah, usually it's 6. I think it's your prof bonus.
Yeah. So that means.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, so you have to exclude one person from your group.
Oros.
Okay.
Works for me.
Give me that die roll to see how long it lasts. But yeah, you feel that connection, and you're not sure if this man realizes what's happening. Draconic racism. What the fuck? But damn, 9 hours. It doesn't seem like anything's registered with this man. He's still in the middle of this fury, and you can see him now as Ross has him kind of locked up for the moment. You see him kind of working his arm free, and you see him pulling up his arm to like slam down on Ross with the back of his elbow.
I do my best to jump in front, lock eyes, and go, "Please stop," in the deepest mental voice I can throw out.
Okay, you know what? Give me a persuasion check. Yeah, give me a persuasion check, Simon.
Also channel my inner Ross. You said persuasion.
Yeah.
Double checking. Do you have proficiency in persuasion?
He's got
Of
expertise
course
in
I do.
persuasion. I just looked at that.
You know what that means then, right, DM? I mean,
Yeah, he
Advantage?
can. No, that means if you could roll too low, you could just take the natural 10,
Oh yeah. Okay.
or you can also. Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
you
don't
got
need
it.
it. Huh. Yeah. So you jump in front of his face and yell this into his mind. He kind of glances about for a second. There, you feel him, Ross. You feel him tense up even more, like something, like he's waiting for something, maybe a blow, maybe he's not, almost surprised. as that body tightens up real quick as he kind of glances about, and then you catch his eyes, and for a moment, for the moment, he holds back his attacks, stops fighting you, Ross. But you still feel that tenseness, like a spring waiting to be released, as you hear a voice in your mind, in all of your minds that are connected now. What? As he's like confused. What is this?
Talking, Simon. Listening.
Peace, brother. We mean you no harm.
I don't know about that.
Vec, what are you doing?
Well, except for the guy holding you because, you know, you hit him.
Vec, what are you doing? As you're the one that actually most of his hours targeted at. So you hear this going on. This is all happening in your head too, Vec. You hear this conversation.
Like, I was literally in mid swing. I was about to punch him in the abdomen, and I just stopped literal inches and like on his stomach as I hear his voice, and just looks up at this giant of a man, just with like this almost feral anger at him, just waiting for him to say something wrong.
So you guys all hear in your minds why you kind of hear like these overlapping thoughts coming from this guy, like he's thinking into this psychic link. So it's all almost jumbled, where you hear, what the fuck are these creatures? What is that one? Is he? You see a kind of a flash of Boros. Why are they traveling with humans? Who's talking to me? How's this guy talking in my head? Like, should I kill these guys? Like, you know, like all this jumbled thoughts are just kind of flying into your heads.
Calm. We're friendly. We're friends of Harrogath.
Oh, no, you're talking about the other guy. Yeah.
Oh, you say the name Harrogath?
Yep.
Okay. Give me. You know what? No. I'll say if you invoke that name, you see he's immediately kind of taken aback as his eyes open wide, and he speaks out loud again in a language you don't quite understand, but the thoughts, as he doesn't understand the connection here, you hear the same thought, or you don't know if this is the same thought, but you hear the thought, how the fuck do these guys know Harrogath? And then you see him kind of directed at you guys, at all of you, as he doesn't quite know who to talk to. He says something else. How do you know Harrogath?
We encountered him, Sidira, Daiju, and Talash. In Luca Lane.
Give me a second, I'm rolling something here. Oh, Jesus. That's not bad. I rolled a fucking 20. Okay. So he was I was rolling an intelligence check for this guy to see if he could piece together what's happening in the midst of his rage. With that, and the mention of Harrogath, and the fact that you're finally communicating, and with the roll I just made, Ross, you feel him physically relax.
I would retract my arm slowly, putting my hands up to show I don't mean any harm myself, and take a step back.
All right. Once again, he speaks out loud, but you hear the thoughts come across as you hear him say, "Do you mean to help with the assault, then?"
We mean to come and kill the last prime.
As he starts laughing, looking kind of down at you, Rowan, and at the others. He's like, but you are serious.
We killed the first two. Why not the third?
Knocking them down like dominoes. Are you familiar with dominoes?
No. You see a quizzical look on his face, like he doesn't understand what you're asking. But he does. Where is? I'm sorry, I'm looking for something. Get that loaded. He does look about this group here, and you see him kind of he takes a step back away from Vec, to get out of his face. As he plants the club. Oh shit! I got the wrong thing done. As he plants his club, the head of his club firmly onto the ground. So you are the group we have heard of. We have been hearing rumors of such a thing, and it's hard to understand because you hear the thoughts, but he's also speaking out loud at the same time, so it's kind of over each other. It's kind of gets jumbled in your head with this.
I'm
this strange
activating
language.
comprehend languages because that the two things at the same time is just kind of no. So comprehend languages on.
That's a cool effect, but me being used to that sort of thing, I tweak the neural pathways of my psychic mind.
All right.
I activate a filter.
Okay, so this only works on you. Okay. Yeah, so same thing. As his thoughts are kind of blasting into your head, you actually, as you cast this, you almost distracted in the casting of the spell. As his thoughts, you see him kind of turn his head towards and look towards the battlefield, and you hear an overbearing thought of, "I need to help my brothers. I do not have time for this." As his body kind of shifts slightly towards that direction.
If he looks like he's going to move, unless someone, I mean, Vec, you're right here, right?
Yeah.
You're like right there. Okay.
Well, I'm in front of him. I'm like 5 feet away from him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're like up close. Oh shit! Yeah. So you should be like right here. Sorry.
Well, he stepped back.
Yeah, the
Okay.
barbarian stepped back away from Vec.
All right. Well then, I'm gonna step over and I'm gonna put a hand on him, like, and say, "Wait. Lead a way into the city." I would project mentally. If you can give us that, we can defeat the Prime, and your brothers will be safer for it.
He looks down at you, and once again, talking and thinking at the same time. The only way into the city is through the front gate. That's why it was designed that way, to keep these foul beasts out. And foes. And when he says foes, you hear Ross and everybody else, you hear that same word that he spoke when y'all first landed here. Vrog.
I don't let go of him, but I think I would turn a Draven even without needing to. Say, what do you want to do? You were right. Now what?
We go to the city. As Draven stands up. Really disappointed with all of your ability to follow lead. Come.
We have a better plan than just jumping into the fray.
Draven goes, that was not the plan. That was an idea. Either way, we need to get to the city.
I look over at the big guy and go, well, I hope that gate is the only way in, because I really would not want to crawl through a city of their sewers.
He just kind of looks at you and nods his head. If you are not going to fight, I need to help my brothers. And he, without waiting for a response, he turns and starts to take a step away from you.
Like I said, I didn't let him go. I mean, I will hold on to him.
Oh, you grabbed him when you put your hand on his shoulder?
Say that.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, he would feel that kind of jerk back.
As he goes to turn, he looks down at you very sharply and pointedly as he looks at your hand.
We are going to fight. Didn't you hear what he said? Need your help. And we'll have our aid in fighting to help your brothers as well. Give us this.
What do you want from me?
I turn to Draven.
Am I in Simon's mental link?
Yes.
I don't know how many people you have.
You are. Boros is the only one that is not.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, Draven, you hear this whole conversation.
Just making sure. We need the way in your city. We will come down this mountain and kill any in our path. But in order to stop what we came here to do, we must get inside your city. You understand. Help, quickly. Time is of essence.
Give me a persuasion check. I'm sorry, but this is going to be a disadvantage because he wants to go help his brothers. So, Draven, you're the last one to speak. Give me a disadvantage. Give me a persuasion at disadvantage, please. I don't know why. I forgot I'm Draven. Jesus. Just don't roll a natural one, dude. Jesus Christ. Good thing it was a disadvantage, not that it fucking matters. Wait. Persuasion? That's all you have? Oh shit, okay. I mean, that'll be enough. He almost begrudgingly, you see him follow me, and he kind of jerks away from you, Ross, if you allow him, unless you want to fight it.
No.
He takes one or two steps walking, and then you see him go into a trot as he just runs and jumps down 30 feet and hits the ground, and he's moving.
I'm gonna pop a vial of energy drink. I don't care about my body.
I'm also gonna pop a vial as well.
It seems like he's on our side for now. I can help carve a path for the rest of them. Wherever he's leading us. We need to do it quickly.
All right, so let's go.
That's right. Boros doesn't know anything about what's happened.
Yep. No one got a chance to say anything though. So.
Draven holds out a hand. Russ knows what this means.
Yeah. I have to smile, but I'm wearing a helm, so you don't see it, punk. We're at your back. Hurry.
Forgotten to read you.
I'm Misty stepping down.
Yeah, as you guys are moving, he's headed out across the ice.
Draven, you're moving, yeah?
Yeah, I reached
Okay.
out a hand so that you take me down with your.
Yeah. I take your hand and we're in the air.
Rowan, click somewhere within the circle. There you go. Yep. Simon, how are you getting down?
I use my nifty, swifty, psychic dagger teleportation trick.
Gotcha. All right. Boros can fly. That's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he leads you guys. I'm going to. Oh, as y'all get out across the ice, it's a little slick, but it is definitely completely frozen over. You guys see along the wall these huge ballista, as you also see people running back and forth. Some of the ballista are firing actual ballista bolts. Some of them are shooting what looks like what you saw last week. It's more of a this ballista, as you can see from here, it has it doesn't have the normal rope. It's actually got I guess it would look like a sling, a large sling, as you see them somebody loading another one of these little whatever this container was that splattered against this guy when y'all were first speaking to him, when y'all first landed here, that healed him. And you see the person on the ballista kind of turning it and taking aim. You see people on the wall that you see like a streak of lightning shoot out, and it travels further than you've ever seen that type of magic go, as it shoots out across the field. And as you watch it, you see a line kind of carved across the snow and earth. Yeah, there's, that kind of stuff going on all along the wall here. As this guy leads you. Where is my guy? I lost him amongst y'all's group. There he is. As he kind of leads y'all through, past a little, it looks like maybe a small storage house or building that's burning on fire here. He kind of runs through part of the flame like it doesn't even faze him. As he runs up, you see a rather large man, older, long gray hair, more silver hair, pulled up into like a knot at the back. You see he's got a pretty thick beard that comes down to his chest. This guy, as opposed to being half naked like the man y'all are with at the moment, he actually has more clothing on. He's got a long, some kind of shirt with like some fur over that, like a vest type fur, with some leggings and boots on. You see he doesn't appear to be armed, but he looks down at the group as they approach, as you guys approach this gate here, and the man leading you here leaps up over the wall, which is about 10 feet. He just almost hurdles it as he lands on the inner portion of the bridge here, and he looks up at this man on the wall as he's Yeah, I guess he's still doing the whole talking, thinking thing. You guys hear him. They claim to be the group who took down the tribes. And as the man on the wall kind of glances over in y'all's direction and looks, he says something in his language. Rowan, you understand it as, so you are the ones Mala told us about.
You
I'm
know
not
Mala was
vigorously.
here?
Anthony, you don't understand this because the man on
Oh.
the wall is not in your group. He's saying this out loud in another language.
I
Gotcha.
am nodding vigorously. And projecting thoughts to the barbarian that we are mentally connected with, that I can understand what you're saying. I cannot communicate back. I don't speak the same tongue as you.
He just kind of nods at you. And he thinks back at you in response to that. I am leaving. And he turns to leave. You see him leap out onto the ice as he begins to charge back out across the field.
Thank you. Fight well.
As he does, I think, yeah, I mean, I would try to project it because I feel like, yeah, I would definitely feel this.
Okay.
When we are finished, make sure you're not dead. We will come and fight at your side.
Okay. Yeah. You don't really get a response, but
Yep, don't need one.
the man on the top of the wall here, he looks down and yells. He yells something. Well, Rowan, you understand him. He's yelling for them to lift the portcullis. And he looks at you. And in common, quickly. As the portcullis is raised about 3 feet off the ground. That's it.
Come on, guys.
I mean,
There we
you can
go.
go over the portcullis, yeah?
Over?
Yeah.
I mean, you can move your token over, yeah.
I mean, Draven, would you want to go up or down?
Yeah, what? You're flying, dude. I'm not a pilot.
Okay. How big is the portcullis versus, because we were up in the, oh, I guess we were on the ground. So yeah, we were coasting over the ice. We go under, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, alright. As you guys step in here, the large man, you see him come down some stairs just inside. As he comes down to meet you, he points to a building, and now that you're in here and can see really this city, there's no end. Like it's probably the largest city you guys have ever seen. It's much larger than Baldur's Gate, Rowan. As y'all were told, there are probably close to a couple 100,000 people in this place.
I've never seen such a large city.
So, as he steps down and kind of, he tells you, basically, if you travel down this road that you're on, this main road here, if you travel down this road until you get through the second set of gates, which you can see are here. Sorry, the third set of gates. The second set of gates is this one here. There are also men and women lining these walls as well with the large ballistas. but after you get through the third set of gates, you'll enter the actual inner city. And he said, head to the mead hall. You can't miss it. He will meet you there. You know what? What time did y'all teleport over here? Y'all woke up. Y'all did some shit. So
Like afternoon,
yeah.
because we had to wait. So it was probably like around like 2 or 3 maybe.
Okay. He says he will meet you at the mead hall when the sun goes down. So, if y'all would rather stay and talk, or maybe help, or do whatever, that's fine. But that's he immediately turns to head back up to oversee the battle.
I'm not sure if we have time to wait for him, unfortunately. Rowan,
Yes?
what was the name of the person we came here to see?
Well, the old lady.
Old lady, yes.
No, Mala! Her name's Mala!
Oh, yeah. Alright, that is who we need to find. Does anyone know how to find Mala? Do you have a spell or some kind of something that your good for nothing order can do to get you there?
Good for nothing order?
Yes, Saloon is a fake god. But anyway, tell me.
Why don't
Can
we
she
just
do
ask
something?
one of the guys on the wall?
Why don't we just what? Sorry.
Ask one of those guys on the wall.
Person on wall, have you seen old lady? Oh shit, what was her name?
Mala.
Mala, have you seen Mala?
Nobody up there's paying attention to y'all.
They didn't hear you.
Draven, you're being ignored.
Why is no one listening to me today?
Do recall that they might not speak our tongue. One can doesn't mean they all can.
Alright, I knew that. Draven most certainly did not. Rowan, go ask for Mala.
No, you do it. You just offended my god.
You know what? We still are connected to that one guy. We could just ask him the last place he saw her, right?
Sure,
How
but
far
remember,
did
he's
you
gone off to
connect him up?
battle. You know what I mean?
Okay. He's
Yeah.
bowed up then.
Well, I mean, you can communicate with him up to a mile. And you are still connected, so that is viable. You can ask him.
So that's what I do. Hey, dude, by the way, where's this Mala chick at?
You get a response, a couple of grunts and swings and sounds like war cries, and then preparing the children for the awakening.
Alrighty, thank you, bro.
That's all you get.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Looking between Draven and Rowan, I would say, now is not the time for your focus. You're not going to ask the questions that we need to wait for our guide. Unless you think, Rowan, it is your pride and your goddess is enough for us to sit here and waste time that we could be using.
I have to say, Sean, towards the end of your sentences, you cut out.
I understand.
So, yeah, what's the game plan, guys? There's a battle going on. Everybody here seems to be preoccupied at the moment.
I fold my
Yep.
arms, content to wait.
I'm gonna walk further into the city. As I'm walking, I'm casting Sending to Mala.
Okay. There are, as y'all walk in through here, you see people running, holding looks like more ballista bolts. I'm sorry, they're not folded. They're stacked on basically a wheelbarrow as they're running forward to bring more of those. You see a cart being pulled by two fairly large women as they are bringing forward these what looks like these containers that that healed the man that y'all were fighting. They appear to be out of character, almost like a balloon, a clear balloon. As you see a red liquid kind of sloshing around inside of them. They're a little more firm than a balloon would be, though. Almost a very, very thin glass or maybe plastic. Oh, you know what? You know, in little plastic bags you'd get milk in at school for the younger generation? Something similar to that.
Plastic bag we get milk in?
Oh, you're a little...
Dude, I don't know about you, but I got my milk in cartons.
I did too. But apparently kids nowadays get this little plastic bag with a straw and they stab it into it and drink out of it.
It sounds like a Canadian thing.
Anyways.
Christ,
All the children are turning Canadian.
I'm so confused.
Anyways.
I feel like a Capri Sun?
And
Yeah.
just like that, you lost half the viewers that you had.
Yeah, kind of like a Capri Sun, but a see-through, like clear.
Full of milk?
So, boba tea. Got it. Okay.
What? Yeah, okay. Anyways, but they're about the size of, probably a bowling ball, a small bowling ball. Like, you know, a little bit smaller than a bowling ball. But yeah, you see people running back and forth with weapons. You see over in one section to the south, you hear a large commotion. Sounds like people are shouting orders, and you hear what sounds like stone on grinding against stone. There are people lining the walls of the gatehouse just in front of you. They are making preparations and readying the ballista here as well. As best y'all can tell, the barbarians are doing a pretty decent job at slaughtering the monsters outside the gate, but you understand it's just a matter of time before they are overwhelmed, because they're going to run out of people or warriors to throw at them eventually. So they're making preparations to defend the city in steps. But you see children running about. Looks like teenagers maybe, but they are scrawny, very spindly arms and legs. Humans look to be mid-teens, maybe a little older, and quite literally scrawny, like arms like toothpicks. Like they don't look like they would be very good in a fight unless you used them as a club. But you see smaller children running around, also very small in stature. The children you see appear to be almost sickly. Like they don't look, well, not sickly. They don't look hardy like you would think after meeting some of seeing some of these barbarians out in the field. But yeah, there's the hustle and bustle of a city under siege as you guys make your way down the street. People running back and forth. You are obviously getting some very curious looks. Some stop and stare wide-eyed at Vec and Boros. But no one questions you as you just kind of walk through the front gates. They go about their business other than stopping to gawk here and there.
I'm sending a message to Mala.
Very well. Give me the
I'm
25
sending her
words.
Okay. Mala, we've just entered Harrogath. Harrogath, sorry. Harrogath. Where are you? We're before the city gatehouse. Sending it.
Okay. There's a moment where you don't think you're gonna get a response. Like a little bit, almost too much time passes, and then you hear, "Oh, is that Rowan? Well, oh dear, you've made it. Yes. The lab, come to Heinrich's lab, come to." And he kind of cuts off as she doesn't quite understand how the spell works.
Okay, Heinrich's lab. As I'm walking, I'm communicating in the mental link. I don't know if you heard the message that I just got, but we're to go to a place called Heinrich's lab.
Did we even hear what she heard from that sending?
Y'all didn't hear the message she got back, but she tells y'all.
Oh, yeah.
We must find this Heinrich guy.
I'm gonna have to use a generic token. I forgot to import his token, and I ain't doing that right now. Son of a bitch.
Did she happen to mention where it was?
The spell cut off before she could get the message across.
Draven, you're very familiar with that because you do that all the time to Ross.
I hate when magic fails. Not user error, obviously. It's driven.
Oh,
All right.
you're bad at magic.
Yeah, Draven looks at her. He doesn't look very happy. And he's just kind of staring at you for a moment. Come, it is time to go. Let us find this lab. Is there anyone like nearby that we could ask DM?
I mean, yeah, there are people running by doing, people are busy, but yeah, there's people around.
Okay.
Samola.
Let's see. I don't think Draven's has anything for this.
I lost Mala.
Do you, if I stop and ask someone, does it seem like they speak common? If I go to talk to them? Or are all these going to be...
Roll me a D100. You are looking to get a 70 or higher to see if you catch someone that does speak the common tongue.
30% of the population. Alright, let's go. Let's go.
Hey!
Oh! Better lucky than good.
Yeah, you happen to stop a young man who is, he is in the process of carrying what looks like several spears, a bundle of spears. He stops. And what exactly do you ask him?
Hello, my friend. Sorry to bother you, but very quickly. We are in a rush. Can you tell us where Henrik's lab is? We are trying to have a conversation with Mala of much importance.
He looks at you, he points back up the way you guys are headed, through the gates. He says, "Third gate. Right 2 blocks. You will see the for. Sorry. You will see the insanity of light show that is the lab.
Thank you, my friend. And I hand him a little note that Draven had prepared. It just basically is a piece of paper with his signature on it because he thinks he's famous. For you. Courage before death, my friend. And then I walk in the direction he pointed.
He takes the
Yeah.
note. He looks at it. He looks up at you. As he's kind of holding this bundle like this, right? I don't know if you see my camera or not, but
Perfect.
he's kind of holding it like this. He takes the note. He looks at it. And he looks at you over the bundle, and you see him just kind of stuff it into the between a couple of the spears, and he takes off running again.
Yeah, we go in the direction he pointed out.
All right.
Unless someone else.
So as you guys pass through the second gate, which right now the portcullis is wide open, the third gate is more of a door, a very sturdy, thick wooden, a set of doors, sorry, roughly 15 feet wide and about 15 feet tall, so like it's pretty much a square, but two double doors that also stand open. And within, as y'all pass through, you see the city and actual like houses spread out amongst you. I mean, out in front of you. As once again you see the hustle and bustle of a city. The people in here not so much rushing about, but they are moving with a quickness. Again, you see women, children, men, all not stature. Not of the stature you would think of a barbarian tribe, at least not from your worlds. They are all average-sized people. Even the men are, some of them are 5'5" to maybe 6 foot. The women, same. The women are a little taller than your average humans, but not by a lot. Probably pushing a 5'9" mark on average here for the women. The children also scrawny looking. Like it doesn't. It's kind of strange seeing that from a barbarian city, or a city that's supposed to be barbarian tribes. But again, you see some of them kind of look at you. A few of them stop, and every one of them have weapons on them. Even the children have small swords or daggers, knives. You see some of them look at you, and you see them kind of holding weapons at the ready, just watching. You see the eyes more settled on Vec and Boros. But they take no action towards you at the moment. But you are drawing a lot of eyes, and you are starting to see more. I mean, if you're following the directions to Heinrich's lab, by the time you make it a block, what you would think, a block would be, you have roughly 100 or so people almost in a semicircle kind of following you through the street. All of them with weapons and all of them just watching.
Man, Draven, we can't take you anywhere without drawing a crowd, bro.
Yeah. I don't think Draven... I don't know if Draven would pick up on what's going on versus just like completely playing into what Simon said. You know what? We'll just say for it because it's funny to me. Draven like looks at the crowd and waves. Just kind of like turn to the people. They obviously are his fans and they recognize him. I'm famous even here. I didn't do that good in Luke Lane. There's no competition. I'm surprised. They know me.
That's funny.
He turns left and right. He's just kind of waving at the people, nodding as they walk through the street, which might actually be helpful in this situation, in a humorous way. Yeah, but if they don't, if they're just like following us, That's pretty harmless. We're busy.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
you
mean,
should juggle for them.
anything else? Okay. Yeah, they just kind of staring at y'all, watching cautiously, which the rest of you pick up on. Obviously, Draven's like, "Oh, fan club. Okay, whatever." But you guys, within when you get about a block away from this building that this man told you about, you see a building in front of you or down the road that stands out. The building looks to be almost metal, as where most of the houses here seem to be, or most of the buildings here seem to be built out of stone, stone and wood. You see one that looks to be made out of some type of metal or steel alloy. And atop it is this huge dome, and within you see a cascade of colorful lights just kind of flashing and pulsing around. It's very much so. It stands out compared to everything else, and you are fairly certain this is the building he told you to come to.
Yeah, Draven points it out to the party. Is everyone ready? Perfecto! I love it when you listen to me. Perfect. Much better than earlier. Let us go. With a nose held high and a straight pointed toe forward. I'll lead us right through the door.
Yeah, you walk up. The door is not locked. As why in the hell can I not find? I can't find Mala. That might have been something I lost actually since since we switched over to shit.
We can't find her either. That's why we're looking.
Yeah, son of a biscuit eater.
Yo, look at the pretty Christmas tree. You guys see that?
Okay, well,
Sure.
It's like all the way on the bottom left.
oh, it's not actually a tree. That is, well, I mean, it is a tree, but it's not a Christmas tree. There's just some strange lights coming from all over different places in the city. Y'all actually passed through the second wooden door gates were here. This kind of led y'all into the rest of the city.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's throw y'all in here. Oh shit, I need to put y'all's tokens on the map. Sorry.
That's alright.
As y'all get here, the doors are unlocked. I don't know if you would walk in. Oh shit.
Yeah. She's obviously expecting us. You know, we gotta go right through. We're good.
Who am I missing? Rowan. Alright, everybody should be on the map. Everybody's here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, as you guys step in, you are immediately assaulted by an assortment of lights coming through small windows in the side wall. It looks like some of the lights along the pathway here have been cut out. But you are in a long hallway within this building. You smell a strange mixture of aromas, almost chemical-like, in the air as you step in. You hear voices echoing around the way.
What is this place? Rowan, are you sure this is where we need to be?
This is where Mala said she was.
as you step around into this opening here, this doorway, you do indeed see, and this is not her token. I'm gonna have to. I lost the original token, I guess, in the transfer, but whatever. You do see Mala and another, probably middle-aged human, going about something. They are handling some small vials of liquid, and they are not really paying attention at the moment to anybody or anything other than what they're doing.
Very loudly clanking, walking in.
Yeah, you hear a voice. Well, actually, from here, yeah, you can see the young man or the middle-aged man there that's with Mala. You hear, yes, that'll work, that'll do. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3. You see him kind of counting with his fingers. It looks like we're gonna need about 10 more. Careful, Mala. She kind of swats his hand away. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this longer than you fool. As they're kind of bickering back and forth, handling these vials.
Hello, we are here. Stop what you are doing and talk to us. We do not have time for whatever you're doing. Hi!
Hey! These are the ones I told you about. And Mala looks at him. I think you mean these are the ones I told you about. Yes, that's what I meant. The old lady kind of looks at you and waves you in. Come in. Come on. Don't be shy.
I can't go in.
Why not?
There's a wall.
Is there?
There's a wall.
Sorry. Yep.
It looks like your door is locked.
All right, now you should be able to go in. I'm sorry. Yeah, when y'all step into here, there's almost an acrid smell in there, like it almost burns the nostrils, as there are many vats of some liquids that you're not quite sure what they would be. There are these structures with vials on them that are spinning, for those what a centrifuge is. Several of those. There are rows and rows of vials lining the walls. Some of these shelves, some of these tables. There's strange looking contraptions. For anybody that's actually, Boros, you would notice that some of these are what they would be mechanical type contraptions that are in the process of being made or worked on or something or other. Like, there's just a huge random assortment of chemicals, metal contraptions. There are what looks to be homunculus, almost automaton of some sort that is half taken apart. There is what looks like in the center of the room here some type of gate. At the moment, you can see through it. There's no imagine Stargate, if you will, that is not activated. You can actually kind of see through it. There's nothing in the middle, but I don't know if your characters would understand what this is an actual kind of gate, but yeah, this is definitely a laboratory of some type.
It smells like a dragon pissed in a factory.
Yeah, it is very acrid. The chemical smells in here when you step in here are extremely powerful. Like, it's very potent.
It's quite a description there. Yeah, Draven turns to Rowan. Handle this. Find out what we need to find out.
So, I... We've heard you slayed the primes. That's... I knew I chose right. It seems you've made some friends along the way. She looks at Boros and Vec and Ross and Draven. Are you from here? As she looks at, you know what, she'll start with Ross. She looks at you. Are you from here? As you, do you step that close to her? Was that intentional?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. As she asks, as you start to respond, she says, "Oh no, you are from the same place. Young Simon is from, I believe. I can smell it on you."
Yeah, my mouth opens and closes, and then opens again. You can smell it?
It's not so much a smell, dear. It's kind of a sense I have, but the best way I can describe it is a smell.
I give her a look and then nod my head. You are correct. I am from the same place that Simon is from.
Oh, I see you know his secret.
I look at her once again, brow raised. You know his secret?
I know exactly what all of them were when I asked them to come help, dear.
Yeah, I think I would lean in and not even really aware of the impropriety of it. Know that Simon's a king?
Well, a king in waiting. Sure.
Then I ask you to please advise him in the right direction if you can.
Oh, his choices are his to make. I'm sorry, dear. I asked him to help in this situation, and because I knew there was a spark about him.
Yeah, I deflate a little bit and nod. You are of course correct. Forgive me. I step back.
And you, she immediately turns away from you and points to Draven. You, the flamboyant one there. Where are you from?
Yeah, Draven was like mid bow, as she's like, "You." He's like, kind of bows and gestures, and then she says the flamboyant one, and he kind of like mid bow looks up at her like while bent over, eyebrow raised, and kind of like just awkwardly like plays it off like he never bowed at all.
Does something off his boot.
Yeah. Flamboyant, huh? It looks like because she used the word flamboyant, he's not like upset or anything, but he tries to change the subject. Yes, whatever. Listen, I do not have time for every indulgence. Pardon my rudeness, but you have enemies at your gates. Let us be clear with who we are if you know who we are and what we are here for. You understand? Yes?
She raises one of her old wizened eyebrows at you as she looks back over at you, Ross. A bit full of himself, this one, huh?
You have no idea.
Oh, very well. Introductions first, rude young man. I am Mala. For those of you, as she looks at you, Rowan, and kind of gives you a smile, and over at Simon. Where are your other friends? We can talk later, I guess, but what manner of creature are you? As she points at Boros, since you're closer to her. Have you, as she looks, she'd ask you that, but then she looks at the rest of the group, and she says, have you converted one of them?
Converted? What do you mean, converted?
Are you not a demon of some kind? Step closer.
All right.
As she walks, no fear in her eyes as she approaches, and you kind of approach each other. Ah, you are. No, I'm not sure where you're from. Huh. You're definitely not from here, then, are you? Uh-oh, we lost somebody. Sean. I'm
Sean,
sure he'll be back. Yeah, sorry. Why are you webbed, by the way? What the fuck
Don't
is that?
know why I'm webbed.
Says you're restrained. Okay, I'll get rid of that. Yeah, she says, where exactly are you from, and well, she looks over at Vec, she looks again at Ross, and then she glances at Draven. How did you even get here?
Well, as for where I'm from, I don't seem to remember. From what I can, I've seen vast cities, world-scaling cities, larger even than this one. But that's about all as I know. As for how I got here, I'd assume the same as anyone else here.
Well, I brought I brought these two here. Well, seems we have a lot to discuss. But to your point, young man, as she looks back at you, Draven,
Yes,
what,
strange woman.
what exactly is it you wish to know?
Yeah, Draven doesn't actually know, and he gestures towards Rowan, as we discussed.
I take it. Well, I thought he was the leader, but I take it, Rowan, you've come for a reason other than the primes. I guess you are looking for Baal.
Primarily, yes, and partially because once we've defeated Baal, we seek a way home.
Well, if you are successful and we all live, I should be able to send you back where I got you from. As far as Baal goes, I think we've... Well, last I heard, we kind of lost him. He is looking for Temple of the Ancients, which is where the World Stone is.
Draven kind of interrupts. Yes, that is all fine and dandy. Another question. Pero would you be able to send us home for those of us who you did not, as you put it, bring here?
Yes, certainly. I can... Well, I have a gift. I can see into all these worlds. And, well, if you are from the same world as your friends here, it should be no problem. But as she's talking and telling you this, Vec, you notice this middle-aged human. He is kind of behind you, and you know, as a warrior, you kind of notice your surroundings. You kind of pay attention to people, you know, in this. This dude is just all of a sudden lifting up your arm and looking under your armpit. Like he's going over you almost with a scope. Like he is checking you out, and he just came out of fucking nowhere. Because a few minutes ago, he was on the other side of the room over here, and now he's just lifting your arm up before, and like it almost catches you off guard. What manner of creature is this? This is fascinating. Is there a zipper? Is this a suit? You know, like he is, yeah.
Look at him. It throws me off kind of to a point where I just calm down from rage. I just turn this stuff off.
He yeah, before you can even kind of acknowledge him, he looks at Boros and steps over, and he just, Boros, as you're as you were kind of talking to Mala here for a second too, you all of a sudden feel a tug on one of your wings as you hear, "Are these real? Can I study them? Can I take them off?"
Assure you, as he kind of shrugs him off, we're as real as we can be. Now, as for getting us home, how do you propose you do that? That contraption over there, I can only assume it's some sort of gate or a portal or even a power source, but how you would use it, I can't even glean.
Uh, as this man is just battering you two with questions, like he goes back and forth between Vec and Boros, as he's looking at your weapons, your horns. Like you hear him mention something about the runes, the inscriptions on one of your horns. Kind of questioning what does this do? You know, like he's like a child in a candy store, like just falling all over you. But Mala seems to ignore him, and she looks at you and says, "Yes, the device there is attuned to my bloodline. I can activate it. It's straining, but unfortunately, I had no children of my own, so I am the last of my kind or the last of my bloodline that can use it. But I can open a portal to anywhere I can see and step through. Well, it only lasts for a few moments, but I am able to see all kinds of worlds."
Mala, if you are able to return us, will it be to when we were taken?
Well, yes,
Deck is kind of like,
it would be from the exact moment that I took you.
I see.
What about those of us who were taken against our will?
Well, it kind of works in tandem, dear. When I open the gate, if if I am bringing someone through that belongs elsewhere, then the magic kind of attunes to them and sets them in the proper time. You see, I have no control over that. But if I am stepping through alone, then I can step through to whenever time or place I desire.
It's very useful. Will you stop touching my wings?
He kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so curious. This is amazing. If I could craft something like this, well, our friends would be able to just fly across the battlefield and drop bombs. And yeah, he just starts rambling on about some craziness that almost doesn't make sense.
Draven looks over at Ross and tries to catch his eye. I'm not sure if he does.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna glance in your direction. No, he seems kind of in thought. You would know that after his conversation with the old lady. He's been pretty quiet.
All right. Yeah, so he'll kind of walk around behind Ross over to, I guess, Ross's right-hand side from the left-hand side. A little bit obvious, and then asks Mala after she mentions that she could kind of have some... she's talking about sending people back. He interrupts the conversation and goes, "Mala, can you return us to different times than which we were taken?"
I'm sorry. I don't think I can do such a thing. Of course, I've never tried, actually. But as I said, the magic kind of latches on to the person with me that is going through and returns them. I choose where, but the time is determined by them, I believe. I've only ever done this one other time with one person as kind of a test, you see.
And Draven kind of nods. side eyes over at Roth, and then kind of snaps out of it. Pero, okay. E. As for the second order of business in which we are here, Mala, we mean to kill the last primeval. Where can we find him?
As I said, we kind of lost him. We're kind of busy at the moment, as you can see, I guess. But as we know he's looking for the Temple of the Ancients. If he gets there and defeats the Ancients, then there's nothing stopping him from getting to the World Stone.
Perfect. And where is this Temple of Ancients?
Nice. A few days. Yeah. She kind of looks around, and she kind of looks like she's trying to gather her where she is in this building. As she kind of points and says, "West, west of here, a couple of days. Only one person can tell you exactly where it is. It's a pretty well kept secret. It is." Well, it is Temple of the Ancients of... It's not of my people. It's... Well, Qualkek would have to tell you where it is.
Who is Quack Quack?
Please pay attention, young man. Qualkek. Just respectful to know someone's name. But, he is... Well, he is the leader of the tribes here.
Right. And you think he will tell us? It seems rather important, if there is a primeval after your secret location, to give the people who are going to kill that primeval the same secret location.
He is a difficult man to deal with, but he will see reason. He's not stupid.
This is good. Thank you, strange woman. As if, like, not paying attention at all. And to remember people's names.
Heinrich! We must finish. Come. As she kind of walks over and grabs him by the arm and forcibly removes him from, at this point, Vec. Now he's studying Vec again. I am sorry. We have to finish this. We have an awakening ceremony tomorrow. Otherwise, well, we're running quite low on warriors as of late. These poor children. They're turning. At this point, she kind of looks at Heinrich, voicing this concern. They're turning much younger than the last group. As she leads Heinrich, I will speak with you this evening. Well, we can meet. Do you know did you see the large tree with the it's kind of lit up?
Oh, is she talking us
She's
now?
talking yeah, she's talking to y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes, we saw it.
Yes, it's the most beautiful place in the city. We can meet there, say 2, maybe 3 hours from now.
Alright. We will try to be there, and we will send a message otherwise. We must speak to Kalkek.
I'm sorry, I know y'all are here, and probably in quite a rush, but we have a city to defend, so I will have to talk to you when I have the time. I'm sorry, dear.
It is okay. The same reason you are in a rush is the same reason we are in a rush.
Very well. Well, enjoy the city. Don't start any trouble, I'm afraid. Well, the people here are not... They don't take kindly to troublemakers.
Draven looks over at Ross. There's a small irk on his face.
So, yeah. Y'all are free to do as you wish.
All right. What do you guys want to do? We got some time
Well,
to kill. You want to go fight?
We could either help on the battlefield, or we could learn more about this city. Either way, we're pressed for time.
It appears we cannot speed up our timeline at all.
Oh, ha, Mala! I almost forgot this. This giggling guy. This guy kind of giggles as he grabs something and runs over. I wasn't gonna forget. You're absent-minded, you fool. As she kind of berates him a little. Yeah, they go back to their little bickering and mixing these strange concoctions. You see a crate here with the sides. It's not a completely closed-in crate, but you see rows and rows of these vials inside there as the top is open. And if y'all stand there for any amount of time, a few minutes or whatever, you see him grab some of the vials from this table that they're working at here and carry them over and place them very gently into the top as he's filling the crate up.
Strange one. I'm referring to the manic man.
Heinrich! The name is Heinrich!
Heinrich. My apologies. How quickly would you be able to turn around new technology if we allowed you to study us?
Oh, very quickly. Probably, half a year or so.
Half a year?
Mhm.
Is that
Yes.
continuous study with one session?
Oh, well, I mean, you would have to stay here so that I could get the proportion and the measurements and then maybe a few days of studying you. For the wings. Yes, the wings.
Oh, okay.
I guess Vec will just speak a little bit. What you making?
You referring to what they're making right now? Them two?
Yeah.
This is the potions for the ceremony tomorrow, the awakening.
What awakening?
Oh, Mala, she's kind of mixing some kind of liquid in a kind of a beaker as she stops and looks. I'll tell you what. I will tell you all of this evening. I must concentrate, and Heinrich gets distracted so easily as she kind of shakes her head. What was your name, strange creature? As she looks at you, Vec. Vec. Very well. Vec, I will explain all of this evening. Just please, we need to finish this up. We have to have this ready for the morning.
Okay.
She would look at you guys one last time, and she'll look at Rowan and Simon. It is good to see that you have survived all this time. You look a little ragged, dears, but I must know later what happened to your friends that I brought. How are they? Are they alive? But all that must come later. I'm sorry, I really must concentrate here.
If we must wait when we're operating on a timeline, is there a clinic nearby where the injured are taken to?
Yes, we have a hospital, dear. You'll see it if you'll go back towards the second gate you pass through. If you take a right before you get to the gate, maybe a block or so down, or 2 blocks, 3, 4. As she kind of, you see her kind of look up, and Heinrich actually, it's 4, it's 4. Yes. She looks at him kind of frustratingly. 4 blocks from there, you'll see. Well, I mean, I'm sure you can't miss the injured being brought in or leaving, dear.
And, do the civilians in here speak common?
Yes, some of them do. Quite a few, actually. But for the most part, no.
Then how do I say I'm here to help heal in their language?
Oh, I can help with that. Here, hold on. You see him, he runs across the room to this desk over here, and you see him just shoving stuff around. Oh, where is it? Oh, shit. And you see him run over here to this little piece of equipment here. Oh, that's not it. Damn it. Mala, where is it? Oh, shit. Here. He grabs something off of this little structure here, or whatever this is. And he runs back to you. And he gives you what looks like kind of a spike earring. It's, well, not an earring. It looks like a small golden spike, roughly 2 or 3 inches long, and it's in a cone shape. God damn, I couldn't think of the word. But he says, "Here, just stab this through your earlobe there." And he goes to like grab your ear, and you see him pull back like he's gonna stab it through.
Yeah, I let it happen, I guess. But can you make sure it's in the center? At the very least, please.
And shoop, he fucking stabs. You will take, rolled maximum 4 points of damage. As you guys watch him grab her ear, like he's so excited, right? Like he's moving frantically almost as he reaches up and grabs your ear and kind of pulls it forward a little and just he stabs it through, and you feel this sharp pain for a second, and then he lets go, and the ear, so it's just kind of sticking through your earlobe. And it's just kind of dangling there, but you don't notice anything.
Oh.
It hurts. Mala looks at you and she says, you guys hear her say something in another language. It sounds like the same language the barbarian man was speaking to you earlier. Rowan, you hear the same language, but unfortunately you still have comprehend languages going, right?
Has it been an hour?
No, it has not. So it's right on the cusp. But so you understand what she says, but then you also immediately hear another small voice come out of this cone right next to you, almost like a speaker, and it says, it translates the languages, dear. In a little bitty tiny voice.
But if I say something in common, can you translate? Are you sentient?
What are you talking to? Well, of course I'm sentient, dear.
Oh, the way you described it was like the voice is like the little earring thing was like actually talking to me, but no, okay.
It did.
So...
It translated, but it's like very tiny, almost robotic sounding voice. Well, not robotic. I guess you would know what that means, but yeah, it's very monotone type voice that comes out of it, translating.
Okay, and if I speak common, will it translate to others?
You once again hear uh, a voice come out of the same uh, the little contraption in your ear. You hear your words spoken in a different language, like repeated and spoken in another language. And because you still have your comprehend languages up, you understand all of it.
Okay. Um yeah, there's like Rowan's posture immediately straightens and there's like a twinkle in her eye like she's just discovered the most fun thing ever. And then she kind of like puts both her hands on this middle-aged guy's shoulders and shakes him, is like, this is the best thing ever.
Oh dear, that's nothing. You should try some of my Heinrich. We don't have time for this. Uh, oh, yes. Sorry. And he rushes away. And they once again kind of begin to work.
Oh heck yes, the masters at the temple can absolutely suck it.
What?
Yeah, Draven pipes in and goes, you know what? I agree with that. They can suck it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and find the hospital. Bye? I just like book it out.
What's everybody else doing?
Well, assistance is always welcome at hospitals, usually.
Okay.
Draven grabs Ross for a minute and kind of tries to beckon him over the side to have a conversation in private.
All right. Vex, Simon, before y'all start talking, Andres, Vex, Simon, what are you two doing? Vec, what are you doing?
Vec is just like kind of thinking to himself, and he's like, he's not good at hospitals. Yeah, big meaty paws, too cumbersome. He might just go possibly help the other warriors at the front gate, probably in some way.
Okay. Simon, what are you doing in this moment as these two have kind of gone back to work? Rowan has hauled ass, saying something about the hospital. Vec is sort of standing there looking around like you don't know what to do at this very moment. What are you doing, Simon?
I'm just kind of sitting quietly, observing everything, keeping to myself. Looks like I've got shit on my mind, sort of thing. That's about it.
Okay. And Boros?
Going to the nearest hospital.
So you would be going with Rowan then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't even think about Rowan asking for a freaking hospital. I don't have a map for that. I will make one though.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah. So Draven and Ross. I think Draven wants to have a word with you.
Yeah. I nod and go follow him to wherever he wants to speak.
Draven kind of looks over to the left of your shoulder, kind of facing forward at you, scouting the others. Almost looks preoccupied for a moment, looking to see who all's near them. Okay. Yeah, so
I'm
after some
sorry, I
time...
was muted. I'm so sorry. Vec is standing here like he hasn't quite made up his mind what to do just yet. Boros has left with Rowan. Simon's kind of standing here almost in his own little world. So that's kind of where we're at.
Gotcha. All right, yeah. So they'll probably back up as far as they can, just till they're out of like direct earshot of the others. As Draven keeps kind of mustering Ross to move away and away and away from the party.
Vec's gonna leave the room and go to the front gate.
Roste,
Yes.
did you hear what the lady said? Did you pick up on that?
Yes, Draven, I heard. I can't think like that now. You have to stay in the moment, focus on the task at hand. Anything beyond that is a distraction.
Roste, I understand that is wisdom, but I cannot help it. What this could mean for Alagon, if it were possible.
I look at you with an expression that is pretty unforgiving. You decided to be the leader of this party. This is the last mission, and you're thinking of home? What if while you're distracted, one of the others doesn't get a chance to? Where is your mind right now, Draven?
Yeah, Draven looks at you and, like, it looks like he wasn't ready for that. You see him, his mouth's open for a moment before he swallows and then nods at you. Of course. You are right. Of course. Don't tell the others that I said you were right, but you are right. Rosé, there is much going on right now. I do not want to be the leader of this party. But it is needed. So I'll do what I must. Just do me a favor. I cannot be there always with you when you need me. I will try to be, but I cannot promise that I will be. So, the two things I ask of you is to take care of Rosé and to take care of Simon. Those are the only two things that matter. As he puts a hand on your shoulder. Please.
I think. Nah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't hesitate. I'd embrace you. You like put a hand on my shoulder, and I just with bare strength pull you in for a hug.
Oh, oh, that's a gauntlet. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good.
I
Okay.
need you to do something for me. Whatever
Okay.
happens, you will lead all of us better than I did that back then. You have to be better, Draven, more thoughtful. Know when to retreat. Know when someone needs help. Know when the mission isn't worth the price that it takes to gain victory. Be better. Just don't lose sight of who you are.
It's like right on cue. We have this like beautiful, true moment of just two bros talking and being real with one another. And as you're starting to talk and you're like, just be better, man. Draven goes, wait, but I thought I already was. And then looks at you and kind of like lowers his head a little bit, smirking. I trying to make eye contact with you to like catch your eye.
Yeah, you catch it. I think I've taken off the helm at this point. Well, while in civilized company, the helm is off.
Okay. Yeah, he's throwing a little bit of banter in there.
Well, I'm going to let you go now because you're staring directly in my eyes as if you want to kiss me. So,
You don't want to kiss me. I feel so insulted. Draven like raises his voice so the others can hear.
yeah, I just shake my head and let you go.
I've never been so turned down.
Well, I'm sure Grease's sister can ease any wounded pride that you might have.
That's true. It's true.
You realize that you're seeing Grease's sister and Rowan's seeing Grease, I think. Or Grease pursuing Rowan. I'm not sure really what's going on there. Wouldn't that be a strange double date?
Yes, it very much is. I have unsorted business with, as he looks at you, my sister.
Hmm. Yeah. I see how serious you look, and I just shake my head. Put it away for now. Right now, she's Rowan, a powerful priestess and an acolyte of Selune. We need her in that capacity first. She's your sister second.
Tell me, Rose, what do you know of some?
The goddess?
Yes.
Well, I know what any commoner knows. She is the light in the evening. She oversees the twilight and, in some respects, even knowledge. She's the Moon Maiden, the one who offers guidance when the hour seems darkest.
This is an interesting set of skills. You imagine being the goddess of the moon. That'd be crazy. You would be like, you bring and usher in the night. You are a guiding force to those who cannot see. I worry. I worry. I remember something. Something about the saloon. About the order. And the friendliness in his voice vanishes quickly. He sounds like he's about to start on a rant a little. I remember a little something about the order of saloon. Enough to make me question whether she is a real goddess, whether those who follow her are following some entity masked out in a masquerade against the real goddess that is out there somewhere. You pay close attention to Rowan. I would hate for her to be involved with something malfarious.
Well, I will tell you, don't speak as if you won't be there to keep an eye on her. I will, of course, protect her because she's my friend. But more than that, I've also entrusted her safety to me. I will see it done for as long as I can.
Yeah, Draven nods at you. Puts a hand on your shoulder for a moment, but in like a patting way. He's not going in for the hug. All right, that is enough romance for today.
Indeed, you smell
You want to get the beer?
No.
Get some time to kill.
I'm considering going to the battlefield. I suspect that's where Vec went. We owe that barbarian at least that much, and I could wet my sword the blood of those demons.
That sounds like a good time. You want some company?
There's a moment where you think you see the same man that was like, you know, the guy barking orders back then, and it's you almost expect a reprimand, like, no way, soldier, you get back to your post. But instead, I break into an uneasy, uncomfortable smile, is what I'd say, as though I'm not used to doing it. It's just always out of practice with me. Like, I didn't learn at some point, and each time I do it, it's kind of like that thing where the dentist is like, now open wide. That's pretty much Ross's smile, as he's like, you know, peeling his lips back rather than actually smiling. Of course.
So awkward, dude.
Yep. You're my
Perfect.
brother. Wherever I go, I expect you to be close at hand.
Perfect. I'll be right there. I just need to get the beer with Simon first. We'll fight better.
Don't. Yeah. Oh, see.
It's like all this good shit, and then he lets you down.
No. It looked like I was about to say something else, and then I just stopped and said, "Yep, I'll meet you outside." And then I turned to leave.
Cool. Draven walks off to find Simon to grab a brewski. See if he wants to hit the battlefield.
Okay. With that, we'll take our break here, guys, because I am starving. I want to get some food. So, we'll resume this, and let's see, what time is it? 8:06, 6 after. So, you know what? Let's just be here at half hour. So, for me, it's 8:30. So whatever 30 minutes after the hour would be, give everybody time to eat if they want to eat and do whatever. So, a little bit longer break than normal, but I am freaking starving. So we'll be back in a few minutes. And we are back. All right. So as our party kind of splits there, we have Rowan and Boros headed to a infirmary hospital situation to see what they can help with there, and Vec or Ross catches up with Vec shortly as they are headed towards the front gate to see what aid they can lend in the fight that is happening there. Draven and Simon, I think, are going to have a drink and then possibly go and meet Ross and Vec in their endeavors. So I think first we will go with Rowan and Boros. You get some very strange looks as you guys exit, even though it happens to be at different intervals there. There's still a group of people kind of out there just watching and kind of waiting for y'all to emerge. And as Rowan and Boros, as you two head down the street, a small group of them kind of break off, and they are once again kind of shadowing you. They're not hiding the fact that they are there, and they're very obviously watching you with weapons in hands. Women, men, even some maybe teenage humans, children, boy and girl. They don't say anything, and they don't get uncomfortably close, but they are very obviously following you.
Ah, good. An escort.
I wouldn't call this as more as I wouldn't call this an escort more than I would call this they won't hesitate if we do anything.
I don't think they have to worry about anything from us.
Yeah, you might say that. Try convincing them.
I turn around and address the crowd.
Oh boy, here we go.
Mala said the hospital was this way.
They all stop and look at you, as one woman steps forward. She kind of looks at the rest of the group, and she points in the way you pointed and just kind of nods her head, looking at you. She's studying you. She's kind of unsure.
Okay, great. Have there been any injured escorted from the battlefield?
She once again kind of glances around at everybody. Yes, many. She says in a foreign tongue, and you hear the little earpiece that you have. Yes, many. Like this little tiny voice translates it as your spell has worn off at this point.
Good, and I will do the best I can. You're gonna turn around and I continue walking.
Your little earring says, as you kind of turn away, "You are here to help."
Wait, repeat that?
You are here to help.
Yes, we're all here to help. My, friends and I.
As you speak the common tongue, the little earring kind of produces a louder voice, but in another language. As the woman says, she kind of looks at you and says, "We will just watch." That's again, that's not her voice. That's the little earring you have.
That's fine. You are under siege after all. I understand.
You hear one of the younger of the group step forward, and once again in a foreign language, your little earring translates. Ask it if that is demon.
My
Hey,
tall winged friend here.
As you say that, you see her, kind of shoving the little boy away.
I mean, my winged friend here? No, he's not a demon.
She gives a very perturbed look at the young one, and she looks back at you, and you just hear, "Good to know. Sorry."
Demon. Well, they are very forward here, huh?
Well, hopefully they...
They have nothing else to compare you to, dude. Look at what you are. Fuck.
Well, dragons don't exist here, I don't think, so...
Yeah, I've gathered that.
Actually, about dragons existing in Diablo lore.
Shush, I don't know shit! I don't know shit!
Hitting us with the actually.
Actually, guys. Yep.
Have y'all ever? I don't think y'all have ever asked anybody if there are dragons here. Have y'all?
Nope.
I think we did once. That was a long time ago, though.
It's been long enough. We should ask again.
Anyways, yeah, you guys, kind of easing their concerns. They still follow, but a little more of a distance. At this point, and less of them, as some of them kind of break off and go either back to the other group or to do other things. Now there's only just a handful of them kind of following you. They're just kind of in the middle of the street, following behind you, probably 30 feet. But you guys do make your way. You very obviously, I mean, you see a building that is very obviously set up as a infirmary type building, as there are some of the barbarians, the actual barbarians, the huge men and women sitting outside with various bandages on arms and legs here and there, and one of them's you see one of them has like a crutch, like an actual, what we would know in our world as an actual crutch. It looks very similar to that. And he's standing there, and they're all kind of conversing and talking. Every one of them still have weapons, leaning either on the ground or leaning up against the building, as they're all just kind of sitting outside talking. And they see you approaching, and they all stand up and grab weapons with some of them a good arm, some of them you see one young woman stand, and she has two, they're not quite long swords, but they're not short swords. They're kind of like in between, but the blade is much wider. It's like what you'd call a broadsword. One in each hand, as she is favoring one leg, though, as the other one is wrapped in bandages, and she holds them down, points pointed at the ground, but definitely ready. As they all see you approach, you see them kind of this tension build. Looking at Boros.
I stand in front of Boros, and I kind of, I guess, hold my hand up, like, hey, yeah, we don't have any weapons on. We're not armed at the moment. Wait, we're friendly. We were sent by Mala.
As your little earpiece kind of spits this out in their language, one of the women stepped forward. She, this would, actually it's the one with the two swords. As she says, "You are the strangers that supposedly killed the primes." As she kind of looks at the others, you see some smirks on their faces, almost like they're judging you. But yeah, the question stands.
We're two of the group, yes.
We would like to hear stories of this.
I don't think I'm the person to regale you with any tales in our group.
And besides, it would take much too long.
But I will do my best, though. We are here mostly to help the injured.
She looks at you. What can you do for the injured? You have... She kind of looks like looking over you, almost kind of behind you, see if you have a pack on or something. Do you have bandages? Medicines?
Would you like me to show you?
Yeah. She kind of nods her head.
Okay, so how many injured are in this area? Like all of the,
Kind of standing outside here?
Mm-hmm.
There's, I'm gonna say there's about 7 of them. They look to be, their injuries are not horrible, right? But you can tell, this one that's standing, she's favoring one leg, the leg is, bandage, so you can't tell the extent of what type of injury it was, but it's yeah, I don't. You'd have to examine it. But there's about 7 of them standing out here. Some of them, like I said, one of them has an arm that has some wrappings around it. One of them has a bandage around his head and covering one of his eyes, and you see some dried blood kind of on his face underneath the bandage. Again, these people, the men and women, are all just massive compared to you, anyways.
Okay. If I drop, let's say, a mass cure wounds centered to heal these folk, like, what level do you think I should cast it at where it would make like a meaningful difference?
What level is mass cure wounds to begin with?
5th.
And it just does 1d8?
It does 3d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
Right, but it's maximum because of your stupid freaking subclass, right?
Yeah. Right?
Fuck off.
I feel like that's more than enough.
Broken.
Yeah, it's a little broken. I'm gonna say upcast it by 1 level, because these people probably are pretty healthy.
Okay.
Say rocks fall and the party dies.
Okay, well, it's having me put a template down, so we're just gonna put it in the middle.
Oh, that's fine.
Right. Why does it say configure roll? What is this?
What?
Can I not elect to do max healing?
I don't know if... Yeah, it's not gonna do max healing. I wonder why. Maybe it doesn't know how to operate with that feat. So it would be 3d8. Ooh. Or 4d8. No, you upcasted it, so it'd be 4d8, right?
Yeah, 4d8, so 30...
32 plus
6, so 38.
Okay. And then anything else because of your life cleric? Any extra bonuses to that?
Yeah.
Was that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Okay.
We're only using 1 though.
Oh, you're gonna add? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's max, so 8, so 46. 46.
Jesus.
And then, hold on. Do I have anything else I can add here?
I'm done with you, Rowan. That's it. 46. That's it. God damn. Yeah. As you go to cast, obviously there's a somatic and verbal component to all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see them all kind of tense up as you kind of and how do you, when you do your healing, do you grab a hold of your symbol and you kind of bow a little bit to say the prayer, or like how do you do the healing?
It's like a prayer, but like it's a gathering of energy, at our core.
Okay.
And then as she releases the energy to heal everyone, she kind of extends her hand.
Okay. Well, with that amount of healing, you see a myriad of different looks on each of their faces. Some of them look surprised, some of them look shocked, some of them look almost concerned, as they kind of, you see them hold a weapon up kind of defensively, when you start to, when you start this, the process of this, saying this prayer and building this energy. And then almost collectively at once, there's a kind of a sigh and a relaxing posture as you see the man with the, for instance, the one with the bandage on his arm. You see him kind of open and close his hand, and you see him straighten the arm out. He kind of winces, like, waiting for the pain, and then there's nothing, and he's like, and you just mouth agape, almost like in shock. He looks at you, and he looks down at his arm. The lady that was talking to you, you see her. She kind of looks down at her leg and kind of rubs it a little. And then you see her slowly kind of put a weight on it again, and then you see her kind of bounce on it, and then she just kind of hops back and forth from foot to foot, like testing it, And the guy with the bandage on his head, you see him reach up and he touches the bandage that's over his eye, and he starts to feel the face and kind of put his hand underneath, and he pulls the bandage off. You see a pretty nasty scar. Unfortunately, the eye itself is gone, and but the healing has kind of caused it to close and heal up. But there's no eye in the socket anymore. But the scar on his face is now just. The wound on his face is now just a scar. It is, yeah. So, kind of that situation, that scenario goes around to each one as they kind of realize that the worst of their injuries have been healed up, and she's kind of looking at you like flabbergasted, like she don't know what to say. She just after a moment she looks at you and she kind of points inside and says, "Can you do that for all of them?"
So long as I have the energy for it, yes.
She looks back and says something to the rest of the group in that foreign language again, and you understand it as short version. She rambles on for a moment, but short version is if this person can do this, there may be hope.
I carefully do not respond to that. But I gestured to Boros and I said, my friend here, he's capable of doing similar things. He is also here to help.
She looks at you, Boros. And she looks back at Rowan. And she gives kind of a half bow. As she does, she kind of crosses her swords up in front of her chest, and she kind of gives like a half bow. Onsala.
What does that mean?
It seems as though it's her name.
I bow back. Rowan.
And your friend?
He's Boros.
Boros. As she looks at the other ones kind of standing behind her, and she motions towards you, Boros. Boros. And then you hear translated, "'Tis a strong name."
What is she saying?
She says you have a strong name.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll give her a bow.
Yeah, she says, she kind of sighs. I do not think she, your friend as she looks at you, Boros, and kind of restarts. I do not think you will be. She looks up, almost as she's trying to think of the words. Left alone in the city. Do not take fences. She kind of struggles, but you get she's probably trying to say offense.
Is she speaking in common or she's still speaking
She's
in,
speaking common.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Yes, please go and help them.
Yay, we're walking to the hospital and saving lives, guys! Come on, boys, let's go!
So one last thing, when you step in, so this building is rather huge. There's probably 200 to 300 people in here, being tended to, at the moment. You hear a few whimperings, maybe a sharp cry here and there, but for the most part, it looks as though the people in here, and everybody in here is just huge, right? The women, the men, and as you're kind of walking through and looking at them, you see these men and women, and they look like children. Their faces, basically like baby faces on these big, massive humans. It's almost off-putting, like it doesn't look natural. But as you walk through, your eyeballed Onsula follows you in, and she is making comments here and there, which in your translator you hear, they are with me, they're here to help. They're kind of calming people's, because even though these people are all in pretty dire conditions, some of them you see their legs are bent at the wrong angle, some of them you see that unfortunately, unless you would use really powerful magic, some of them have lost limbs. Even if with that being the case, the second they see you and Boros walk in, the ones that can try to get to their feet and grab weapons, and it's, you know, you hear grunts of pain and stuff, but they immediately jump to defend or attack if necessary, even in their state.
Rowan, do you have any medical supplies on you?
Wait, do I have any medical supplies on me?
Mm-hmm.
I do. But usually I just let my magic do all the work.
Aye. But I think it would be more efficient if I took those and assisted those who needed less treatment while you worked on the more...
Dire cases.
Yes.
I mean, fair enough. Okay. I turn to Onsula and I convey to her what Boros and I were talking about. Like just the general plan. I will tend to those who are a little more are in more dire states, and Boros will help with less dire,
like minor injuries.
like minor injuries. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it seems the ones with, like, they're not necessarily minor injuries. I mean, they're bad enough to keep them out of a fight, but like maybe a broken arm or you know, stuff like that. But that's the ones you would be tending to directly, Boros. And some of them, it's tough, right? They see you for, you know, what you are, and they shy away from you. They pull away from you. They're very defensive. Even though Onsula, if you guys were to split up at all, Onsula would stay with Boros. And even though she tries to calm people, saying that you're going to help, this and that, well, you don't understand what she's saying. But she's talking to them, but the way she's placing a hand on their chest or their shoulder or whatever and talking to them in kind of a softer tone, you kind of get the gist of what she's trying to calm them and allow you to do what you can do, right? But
After a couple patients, I'm just gonna sigh and turn to her and say, "Let me see if this will help." And I'm going to disguise self on myself to make my self look a little more appealing. Make myself look a little shorter, elvish, round face, almost like a male Rowan.
Okay.
Oh, gender bent Rowan. Hey.
Awesome. Hey, find me a picture, and we can post that the humanoid Boros or the more human Boros. But yeah. So while that's taking place, Draven and Simon, where were you guys headed? You said something about getting a drink. Or Draven said something about getting a drink anyways.
Yeah, I'm taking. I'm finding Simon, and if he'd come with me, I'd drag him out to a bar.
Okay.
For a brew.
Let's do this.
I'm assuming he comes with me? Question mark? With confidence?
Sorry, there we go, Draven. Okay, are you guys not loading here? Whatever. Alright, there's Simon. Okay, there you go. You guys find your way to, you recall where, them telling you where the mead hall is, and you find it. Pretty huge structure here. And you see, it is just very simply named Mead Hall, which hangs on the sign out in front. You see Mead Hall. Well, you see symbols you don't recognize, and then under that you see some more symbols that are slightly off and different that you also don't recognize, and then under that, in common, you see Mead Hall.
Okay. As we arrive at the place, I turn towards Simon. Does he say anything? Any reaction?
I look over at you and have this odd look on my face, and I go, "How come we're at a bar getting a drink when, Ross and Vec are kind of out like helping these people defend this town? This don't feel quite right."
We'll ask you to come to the bar for a quick drink to loosen your nerves. I'm not sure if you've been in a war before. Pero I don't know if I've been in one of the scale we saw earlier, but it is, in my opinion, best taken in under a little bit of intoxication. It'll help you fight better. Trust me.
I kind of give you the side eye. Okay.
It is much worse. Imagine our battlefields, but with 100 times more people. And you can't hear anything. The only thing you can do is smell the blood. You saw it earlier. If you were looking. Also, I'm pretty sure I thought the demand said meat hall, but this is mead hall. So, accidental happy mistakes. Draven's
Or
look.
either
Mhm,
one
go
of
ahead.
them sounds like a great time, doesn't it? And I kind of give you the elbow nudge.
That's true. But to your point, we should probably go help them. So let's go grab a drink quick. And he kind of like hurries you in. We kind of get settled at the bar area, find the bartender for a minute.
Yeah.
Find her.
As you guys walk in, like I said, this is a pretty large place. You see two huge fireplaces. There are people in here. Again, I didn't want to clutter it with a whole bunch of tokens, but there are a few seats at some of the tables. You see there are many tables kind of surrounding. Sprawled out in this area. It's rather rowdy. There are at the very back. You can actually see there is an actual bar. But there are hostesses. Oh, I'm sorry, waitresses and whatnot. Delivering drinks and stuff all over to these tables. There are some of the smaller tables. There's probably two of them. I'll see two of them that are not occupied. Most of the tables in here are occupied. People are laughing and cutting up and joking and telling war stories. There are most of this is in another language, so it's like this cacophony of noises to you. But there are groups like the ones right here to your left. They don't look like they're from here. They more look like well, you're familiar with it. So like caster types, the way they're dressed and the way they are. One of them has a staff leaning up against the table. They are speaking common. A couple of other groups you hear. You're not sure where it's coming from, but you do hear common from other parts. But most of it is in another language. Directly in the center here, there is a large, what you can only describe as some type of machine. It's got pipes and levers and switches and valves, and there is music being pumped out from this place that's kind of all over, echoes out throughout the entire mead hall. It is loud enough that the people are raising their voices to speak over it, very much like you would be in a bar, right? You hear the music and you gotta almost yell at each other to hear. But it's a very strange looking device. That takes up the entire center of the area here between the fireplaces. And then, this guy is actually not here. He is at the gate. You see this man here. He is kind of sitting in this chair. He is passed out. It looks like he's resting with a weapon. There's a large axe laid across his lap. But yeah, this is the mead hall. As you walk in, you see glances. One or two people look at you, and then the whole table looks at you, and then all the tables look at you, and now everybody's looking at you, and the cacophony of voices just kind of dies down as everybody just kind of slowly turns and stares at the two of you. As this lady here turns and looks at you, she says, "Oh, you are not from here. Who might you be?"
You're funny. Oh, did you hear her, Simon? She doesn't know who I am.
I hear that. I wonder how she doesn't know. You have never heard of Draven? This guy?
Of course she has. We do not need to worry about that. He kind of like waves a hand.
She kind of looks at her two companions. They kind of shake their heads, and she looks back at you. No, I do not know who you are. Am I supposed to?
You're serious? Well, no harm, no foul. For no reason, a full flamboyancy on display. An unnecessarily long bow takes place as he kind of makes a show of it. I'm the Raven. They call me the stalemate in the arena, but here you can just call me Draven.
Very
It is
well.
a...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
She just says, very well, Draven. What brings you here? As I said, you are not from here, obviously.
Oh, I thought that was obvious. My apologies. I am here for a drink with my friend. We have some words to exchange. And then we will head out to the battlefield to slay some demons, get our swords dirty.
Huh. So you are here to help.
Absolutely. Perhaps not every day I'll be on the field fighting outside your gates, but I will be fighting for your cause. Perhaps in a more direct manner. I'm a part of the group, you see, that helps stop some of the other demons. You know, in fact, he kind of looks over at Simon. One might say I'm the leader of it.
So, well, let me get this straight. You are a part of the group who took down the other two primes?
Draven looks over at Simon for any input.
Yeah, we were with those people.
And where are they now?
We're
They
here.
are in the hospital taking care of your wounded.
Huh.
I think some went to the field ahead of us. We wanted to grab a drink, you see, before partaking in the festivities.
Ah. She smiles at her other two friends, almost kind of a knowing smile, or at least a judgment smile there. Some liquid courage, then, for you.
Well, perhaps he needs the liquid courage. I'm ready to go.
Draven kind of swallows. You're not sure if that is pride or, well, certainly pride, but is it like pride in the sense that like you're right, or pride in the sense that like how dare you assume that? But there's like there's a definite swallow that occurs for a moment as he looks from the lady to Simon.
I kind of catch a little bit of that and then kind of sort of course correct. What I mean to say is he likes to raise his cup to all of those he is about to avenge who have fallen on the field.
At this, the man sitting across from her, this guy here, he stands and very loudly proclaims something in a language neither of you understand. As when he's finished, you hear a few cheers, sounds like. Maybe a clapping of hands, and then of course you also hear laughter and and scoffs of maybe disbelief. But at that point, everybody, you hear the conversations around you begin to kind of pick up again as everybody goes back to what they were doing.
Sounds like that guy knows you.
I
Dra-
just,
Dra-
I
Yeah, go
merely told them who you claim to be. That is all. I, of course, have heard of the exploits of a group of warriors traveling across the lands who have taken down some of the primes. I do not know if you are part of that group, but who am I to call you a liar?
I have heard whisperings of this group too. You're talking about the Simonauts, aren't you?
Sorry.
Good.
He has a look, kind of a confused look on his face. No, I do not know who these Simonauts are. I don't think there was a name for the group. They were Outlanders, as described.
Yeah, we just came from Luke Lane, and you know, those guys were just there.
Huh. So you traveled all the way here just to step into a unfortunate situation. How was the journey?
Rather quick.
There are those among us with means that make us extra capable of quicker than normal travel. And if you or anyone here, as he speaks up, raising his voice, do not believe our claims, then you will follow us to the battlefield and see for yourself, for that is where we go. Bartender, 2 meads, please. We are in a hurry.
I do not believe they will understand you.
Simon
let
reaches
me
in
help
his
you.
pocket and buys everyone around.
Oh Jesus. Do you say this? Do you proclaim this?
I stick my hand in my pocket, pull out a big handful of gold, put it on the counter, turn around and go, drink on this until it runs out.
So people kind of look at you. The gentleman that was just talking to you, like people look at you confused, almost like you see. The man kind of looks around, and then he looks at you and looks at the pouch, and then the gentleman that was talking to you, he says, "Oh, they do not take payment here. They are. This is a shared community. What is theirs is theirs equally. If you are here to help, the food and drinks are free."
Simon shrugs and says, okay. And starts grabbing his meat.
Every culture is different, I suppose. But much obliged to you and yours. As he turns and gestures to the people. If you don't mind, I will have some words with my friend here. But afterwards, I will see you on the battlefield. Yes?
I am going to get some sleep, me and my companions, as we have been out there all day and we are spent. But I will be out there bright and early in the morning.
I see. Then perhaps next time. If not, have a great night.
Very well. Enjoy Harrogath.
Draven's eyes are kind of like raised for a moment as he says that, knowing that it's like We're in a city that's under siege. But then nods. Like, what else are you supposed to say? Who knows?
Yeah, he kind of catches on to that and says, for the time being.
Yeah, he'll get a nod. I think after a few moments, maybe there's a little bit of awkward silence. Draven will stop and then take a sip of mead, kind of not looking Simon in the eye, but sitting next to him.
Yeah.
You know. Oh,
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Master Simon. It's funny to call you that because Rose always called you that. Master Simon. It occurs to me I never apologized to you for my behavior. Back in Lut Lane.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I truly, it is not often I wrong someone like I did you. And after the battle, a lot was happening. You see, I do want to clear the air. Master Simon, can I be honest with you?
I take a big swig of my mead.
How big?
Big, big.
Big. Alright.
In fact, I take 2.
Yeah, like what you finished the big swig and it wasn't enough, so you're like, shit. Grab a little more.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Hit me with it.
Look, when I first met you, I thought you were not who you say you are. I will be honest, I did not think you were king of Alagon. Did not think it was possible. Yeah. And then I judge you for it. I'm not proud of this, but it is what went through my head. And it was not until you and I fought side by side for some time that I'd realized the man you are, that I know you to be. You are not the person who I wrongfully attacked back in Dutka Lane. I did not mean to attack your character like that. You do not either. We were going to head to the battlefield after this, to join Rothe, to join Vec, to save what the lives we can. That alone should prove to anyone who had doubt what type of man you are. You are a man who steps up to do the right thing, regardless of his circumstances. Yes?
I look up at you and, yeah, think so, man. I forgive you for, basically pooping all over me in Lugo Lane. That's all right. Your throwing arm is kind of weak, though. You missed me a few times with all those books. But, like those books, maybe unlike those books, I am a book with ragged covers constantly being changed. So basically,
Alright.
Yeah, you get it.
On the surface, you are dynamic. There's much going on there. One time over is not a sufficient read if you are attempting to read you by the cover. That is well articulated in how I would describe you. Perhaps I'll write a great poem one day. I'm a bit of a poet sometimes. And I can think of no finer subjects than the lost king of Alagon, fighting from the shadows, saving the world, a world who is blind to their savior.
Well, I tell you what, Draven. When we make it out of this and save the world, I charge you with spreading the word of the great King Simon to all those lands who have never heard of Alagon, much less King Simon.
Be careful, King.
Let us finish up our drinks and go whip some demon ass.
Absolutely, my brother. I will bleed for you, and not because you are a king. Not for that man. The man I will bleed for is the man who charges to the battlefield to save the life of his comrades and of the people he yet knows not. That is the man I will bleed for.
You see me kind of gather myself up and sit a little straighter on the stool. I look at you, blindly grab from my mug, and I go to kick it all back in one swallow and realize there's too much in the cup. And it spills all over the front of me.
Draven does the same thing, goes to do the same thing, and starts to do it somewhat successfully. Then looks down over at you spilling it.
And I look at you and go, and I get up and we skip arm in arm out of the bar.
Yeah. And right before we skip out, Draven mimics you and spills beer all over himself too, just so you wouldn't be alone.
Thought you did that.
Jesus.
That'll work. Awesome. And scene.
While this is all happening, Vec and Ross, you guys make your way to the front gate there, and you have some questioning looks thrown your way. You also have a group of people following you. A lot of curiosity in Vec. But as you guys make your way to the gate, the elderly barbarian who ushered you guys in, you see him come over to the back side of the wall and look down. He looks at both of you. Is there something you need?
Is this guy looking like down at us from the top of the ramparts?
He's on the ramp. Yeah. Like right above the actual portcullis that y'all came in. It's the same guy that let y'all in to begin with. The guy with the long gray hair, long gray beard.
The one that can speak common?
Yes.
Okay. It would kind of suck if we couldn't speak to them. I guess Vec would just look up from where he is. Want to fight?
Well, I am not the man that's going to tell you no. But are you sure that is wise? Do you not have a plan or reason for being here?
To help.
He looks at you, Ross. Uh-oh. Sean, you there, bud? We lost him. He fell asleep. He gave up.
Damn.
Damn, he might have fallen asleep. Holy shit.
No, I'm good.
Oh. Yeah, he, I mean, with no answer forthcoming from Ross, yeah, he'll, well, no more blades. the more death we bring to them. He shouts something in another language, and you hear the as the portcullis begins to raise to allow you guys out of the city. You guys exit the city, and you are back viewing the chaos from a little bit of a distance, but viewing the chaos that is this siege. As you guys, you know what? You guys enter the fray. There's some fighting going on. One of you roll me a percentile die. I'm gonna say, I'll give you a 50-50 chance of finding this barbarian that you guys initially met up with. So one of you guys roll me a percentile and see if you guys can wade through and kind of find your way to his side.
You want it back?
I believe in you.
So you decide above 50 or below 50, and then you roll the dice.
Let's go below 50.
Okay.
Did that go through? Below 50?
I heard you say below 50, but I have not seen
Okay.
a dice roll yet.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you heard me.
Oh, okay.
I hate life.
Oh, damn.
Well, as it goes, you guys, over the course of about an hour, which is a long time to be in a fight, you guys, at times you're fighting just you and Vec. Sometimes back to back, sometimes a little further apart than you want to be. But it's you can see that it is non-stop. On occasion, you find yourself fighting alongside one or two of these barbarians. There's a little bit of hesitation on your side, Vec, when they see you, but when they see you mowing down some of these creatures, they turn and fight beside you, saying something to you. You don't quite understand. The way they fight is very similar to the way you fight, Vec. With some of them have two weapons. Some of them have, just large great axes. You see these guys tearing through some of these beasts, sometimes in one blow, as you'll see them nearly split one in two in one shot, or decapitate one. You see one with two weapons, not quite the size of your swords, Vec, but wielding two weapons nonetheless, two large swords, much skinnier blades, more like if you know what a flamberge is, or some people call it a flamberg, but I think it's flamberge. They fight with a strange frenzy, as you see one blow followed by another one, and then the third blow comes a little faster, and then the next one's faster, and it almost builds up to where you see almost has like a blender effect on anything in front of this man, as the blows are coming faster than you can even keep up with. Like, you can't follow the movements. You just see blood and viscera and pieces of these creatures just flying in all directions as this human begins to just walk forward, and it's like a path of destruction. And as he travels about 60 feet ahead of you, you finally see him stop, and he kind of lumbered breathing as his arms drop to his sides, and behind him the entire 60 feet is just littered with bodies. Him himself is he's got cuts and slices all over him. He's bleeding, and you hear once again this, and you see this. We're gonna say it's a balloon, okay? Just keep it simple. Flies through the air and splashes against his back as it shatters. You see this red liquid kind of drench his backside, and you see it almost disappear, like kind of soak in as he kind of stands up and takes a deep breath, and you see a lot of the cuts and wounds on him kind of heal up, and he raises the swords, and you hear him give a yell as he jumps about 30 feet, lands in the middle of another monster's, and once again starts the tirade of just becomes a blur of motion. Ross, you one of these times when you are separated from Vec, you come across a couple of these humans as they are kind of carving a path towards you from kind of behind. And as they come up beside you, you see they almost complement your sword and board style, right? As they instinctually weave in and out of your blocking, and you are able to actually stop a blow from catching one of them as he comes around kind of pivots around your shield, takes the creature down, and then steps forward to slice into another creature that was coming at you head on as you were blocking this blow. And then you take on a creature or two here and there, and the barbarians kind of keep them almost a perimeter on your sides and at your back as you guys kind of work in tandem like this, almost as well as you and Draven work together when you're really in the thick of it and you're side by side. You know, it's not a practice thing. It's more of an instinctual link that you share as warriors, right? These two guys look a little older, possibly your age for humans, or maybe even older. Very seasoned and wizened, old scars. But yeah, that's kind of how this goes. And then at some point, you and Vec, seeing each other across the way, kind of work your way back towards each other. But after about an hour and a half, I mean, you guys are spent, man. You don't know how these barbarians are just continuing to fight like this non-stop. I mean, you guys are labored and breathing sweat and full of blood, and you know, everything you have. Well, I'd say about 90% of your resources at this point are spent, and you just watch almost in awe as these lumbering humans just continue the fight, and here you are almost on the brink of extinction after an hour. I mean, exhaustion after an hour or hour and a half.
I can keep going.
Well, you can continually rage, right?
Yup.
But fortunately or unfortunately, you know what? Give me Ross. Give me low or high. Tell me low or high. Sean, you there, bud? Did you fall asleep again? It's about time for us to get off of here.
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Now
No.
I can hear you now.
Yep, low or high?
Build high.
High, okay. I'm going to reveal this. I rolled a 99. Ross, there comes a point when you stab your sword into the ground and you kind of, you know, that, you know, some of your wounds, you've healed yourself when you could here and there, maybe tossed a lay on hands or two to Vec, or maybe even a spell. I don't know if you would do that. I don't know if you'd use your spells for that, but once again, you've exhausted what you could as far as healing, keeping yourself up, And there comes a point when you kind of stab your sword into the ground. As you get a slight reprieve, you see that there's nothing around you for 20, 30 feet but dead bodies. And you feel a against your back, and there's this rush of liquid, and immediately you think, oh my god, something just split my head open, right? As you feel the blood kind of rushing down. But then you feel all your little wounds and nicks and cuts and soreness begin to just go away. And you are not revitalized on energy, but you feel the healing magic of whatever this is seep in and heal up all of your injuries that you've received in the last hour or so. Vec, low or high?
I'll go with low.
And it's a good thing you did. Look at this. A freaking 13. You as well, at some point, you are... I mean, your hair is kind of knotted with blood in places, right? Because, you're covered in fur. So, it's a little harder to tell from a distance how injured you are. But there comes a point where you're fighting and you notice... you begin to notice that weariness, not from being tired, but just from the excessive amount of damage that you've taken. And you also, after a moment, feel that explosion against your backside, and this you feel this liquid kind of dripping or cascading down your back, and after a second or two, you feel that very familiar healing energy that, when you drink a potion or when Rowan heals you up, and you feel much better and able to continue.
With that feeling, he just kind of just lets out a howl and just continues raging on.
Yeah, you guys are out here at one point. Again, I imagine for you to, after an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours now at this point, there comes a point where instead of constant fighting, you're kind of choosing your battles. Like you see someone, one of these barbarians, with maybe one or two more creatures you think they can handle, or you and Vec go over and the two of you take on, or cut down one or two of these creatures. But now you're kind of picking those battles to conserve energy at this point, as you also notice that the sun begins to kind of drop down as there's a large shadow from the mountains around you begins to kind of creep across the battlefield here as the sun is beginning to go down. Do y'all stay out there longer? What do you do here?
I'll stay out as long as Ross is going to stay out as long.
All right. Well, there comes a moment, like I said, as the sun begins to go down. At this moment, you guys are kind of next to each other, once again, kind of catching your breath. You see that the fight is continuing, and you also notice that for as much as these enemies that are being slaughtered, it seems that there's no stop to them, man. They just keep coming.
Learn anything about these guys?
About the enemies you're fighting?
Yep.
What you would learn. They're extremely tough. They have a hardened exterior. So they have like a natural armor. If you catch them from the backside, they're almost impenetrable from the waist up. because of this hardened shell with these spikes on it. So if you're behind the creatures, you're looking for the meaty parts of their arms or legs. Their heads are very well protected as they're kind of hunched and the shell comes up around their neck. They are much stronger than they appear. You've seen them, well, while I've described these barbarians chewing through these creatures, there are some times when the barbarians are overrun, and you'll see in some of those instances where just one of these creatures, once the barbarian is taken down, one of these creatures will pick him up and just rip limbs off of him and just scatter him just out of just to be an asshole. I mean, these are very much the ferocious demons that you hear about in the stories, right? Like they just rip and destroy just to destroy. They are, while they usually, a lot of them have like this some type of shield and a kind of a blade. It's not a blade you've ever seen. It's more of it almost looks like a machete, right? But it's much larger than a regular machete.
A falchion?
Sort of, yeah. But they're very sharp. You've seen these creatures slice down, and even one of these barbarians that has come up and just been unlucky enough to catch the blow, even though the barbarian didn't look injured at all or like he was about to go down, you've seen these creatures slice a limb off in like one solid blow. They're a powerful build, not easily taken down as far as grabbing or grappling them. They seem to be not affected by a lot of magics, as you see from the wall during this fight. You've also seen spells being cast. Spells you're somewhat familiar with. There's fire and ice and the blue flash of lightning here and there. And you see some of them take direct hits and they just kind of shake it off. It does hurt them, but not as much as it probably should have.
How vulnerable are they to Ross and Vec's weapons that they're wielding right now?
So, Vec, your weapons cut through them like butter. It's kind of what you expected when you fought other demons, right? Like your weapon doesn't seem to be affected by their defenses or their resistance to mundane weapons like most of the demons you're up against. Ross, while his weapon tends to do the damage he expects, it obviously has more of that. It obviously deals more damage when he uses that magic that you've seen him use to mechanically smite the creatures. They seem pretty resilient, though, to just about everything.
I bet the voices in the weapons are like, yes, blood, yes. Mm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, your weapons are soaking this up, man. But the question is, do you guys head in as the sun begins to go down, or do you stay?
Vec looks at Ross. I'll feel.
And we're still feeling the refreshing like revitalization, physically anyway.
Yeah, as far as like your wounds and stuff and all that go, yeah, you've been. They begin to you notice that anytime they see you, but kind of slow down a little, Ross, because at this distance, they can't tell if you're really wounded or not, right? So they just kind of watch for signs, and you'll feel that poof, up against you again, and you'll feel all your wounds and all that heal up, and you feel like you can continue on. It doesn't fully heal you, but it's enough to keep you going a little longer. It's just that your body is physically becoming, sluggish. Like you feel starting to feel that exhaustion from constant fighting.
Okay. Yeah, Beck. I look at you, helm on, and my blade hasn't yet tasted enough demon blood. And I see if we can kill some more. Might as well.
All right, yeah. As I said, as far as your resources go, lay on hands, spell slots, and all that, you're exhausted about 90% of that at this point. I'm assuming you, as a seasoned warrior, understand that if you're out here for a prolonged period of time, you would kind of use it sparingly, but you have used it.
Yep.
Also, give me lower high.
Beck, you got it.
Nope.
God.
This is for Ross.
Oh.
Good luck.
Low.
Low. I'm gonna reveal to you what I rolled. I rolled an 85. Unfortunately, as you and Vic are sitting here talking, out of the corner of your eye, you catch something catches your eye, and as you glance over, you see a body laying there that you immediately recognize.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the barbarian that you were trying to come out here and meet.
Is he
Well-
motionless?
He is quite dead.
Damn.
Then I think that's enough for Ross to say, Vic, cover me. And I'm gonna go retrieve the body if I can.
Yeah,
Cut
you
away
can.
any demons. Yeah.
He is actually laying. So, where his body is, there are a pile of these creatures around that looks like he took out before he went down.
Don't cover Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're able to get to his body. At this moment, there's where you guys are. There's still a lot of fighting, but you guys have a moment, a minute or two maybe, that you're kind of, you got room to breathe here for a second.
Yeah, but I'm thinking here is probably where I'd try to, bring the body back.
Okay. Yeah, this guy's pretty heavy, but you are able to. I mean, you're pretty strong, and out of determination, obviously, you grab this guy's body and kind of throw him over your shoulder and begin to make your way back towards the gates, I presume.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll continue to provide cover while he's slowed by the over incumbents.
Yeah, as you guys make your way back towards the gate, so even though the siege has been going on for quite some time, they've done a very good job at keeping the fighting out in this field. And other than what looks like something took down part of one of the walls here, for the most part, they've done very good. They've done very well at keeping the monsters back and being able so that they're not able to even cross that frozen river. You do see a couple of bodies scattered here and there where maybe some of them kind of broke through and got through, but between the magics being cast from the walls, the ballista, and the barbarians coming out here, they're doing a pretty good job at keeping them back. But you also see the signs of that probably not lasting much longer than another day or two. You just don't understand how they could keep these creatures at bay for this long. Like at some point the siege, especially when you have an army that is potentially an unending army, that how long can you hold them back? You know what I mean? So you do see signs of that. The creatures are making headway, even though they may have been pushed back. It looks like maybe 2 or 3 days at most, as best you could tell, before this, at least this initial outer wall here, is probably overrun. Unless they get a huge influx of warriors from somewhere to help hold them back. But you guys make your way back. You go through the gate. They see you come and they raise the portcullis and allow you guys in. The man up top, the older gentleman there, he makes eye contact with you as you're carrying this body, and he just kind of gives you a nod. And as you pass through the gate, what do you do with this barbarian?
I think I would, call for the guys at the gate, see if they want to honor him, or else I'm gonna bring him to whatever serves for like.
Yeah. So Qualkek, I'm sorry, the older guy would he would yell something in that same language that you don't understand, and two warriors would come down, one female, one male. They would come down and gingerly take him from you, and they say something. You kind of recognize it as a basically like a thank you, or something along those lines, as they take the man from you, and they rest him kind of on the side of the wall for now. It looks like, as they cross his arms over his chest, and the female of the group, she kind of places a hand on the man's forehead and whispers something, and then she stands, stares at the body for a second, and gives a curt nod, and turns and walks away. As they both go back up to the ramparts there to continue what they were doing.
If Vex nearby, I think I don't have any words. Done a lot of fighting today. I would just reach out to him if he's close by. And
He is.
okay, yeah, I don't like grab you roughly, but I think I would, like, whether it's shoulder, arm, back, whatever, just grab like a tuft of fur, and like I think for a bit I just kind of lean into you. Yeah. There's a little bit of that shit. We just did that today.
Thinking on, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead if you've got something to add.
Thinking on all that you just went through, you and Vec, you feel good. You feel as though your efforts did make a difference, but there's a doubt in your mind that difference, how much time did that difference really buy? It felt good. It felt good to help. It felt good to slaughter these foul creatures. but you still know that it's only a matter of time, unless something is done, something drastic. You've probably I don't know your full story, Ross, but I'm sure you've seen sieges of this type before, where you know it's only a matter of time, right?
Yep. Well, after that, kind of the moment of the thought, the peace, the tranquility of combat, that guy would, I think I would, to find the others. Maybe they've learned something new.
Yeah.
I need good news.
All right, Draven and Simon, you guys went out to fight. I'm not going to describe another scene, but in the chaos, I'm going to say, just for brevity's sakes, you guys probably did not find Vec and Ross. You kind of carved your own path, worked together. A lot of the same heroics. You've run into a couple of barbarians, fought alongside them. At one point, maybe there was, a group of like 4 or 5 of them, and you guys formed like a V formation, and Draven shouting out, maybe throwing some inspiration out there and casting a few spells to buff some people, and then maybe to hypnotize some of these enemies. Didn't seem to work well on a lot of them, but some of your magics went through, and but yeah, you guys, I mean, you did what you could here and there, with Simon kind of darting in and out from what shadows he could find, or using these giant fucking humans to hide behind. But you guys did not find Vec and Ross. But as you two are standing inside the gate, contemplating what you guys just done, you hear Draven's loud voice as the portcullis once again opens behind you, as him and Simon are coming through. And I imagine Draven is telling these people that don't understand a fucking word he's saying about all the heroics that you and Simon were up to out there on the battlefield, and how they should take inspiration from the way you fight and whatnot. I don't know. That's your call. Draven? Andres, you there? You're muted, bud. Oh, he fell asleep too. Look at this.
Damn, can't believe.
I wonder if Rowan's asleep. Is everybody sleeping?
Oh, I was double muted. That was
Me.
confusing. Yeah, all that happens exactly as described. As Draven comes in the gates, he prestidigitates, some sparks into the air,
Yeah,
and
ahead
announces
of
the heroics. Yep.
yeah, ahead of you, you see Vec and Ross kind of standing there leaning. Of course, Ross, you hear his voice the minute the portcullis, before the portcullis even opens. In that moment where you're just kind of leaning against Vec and taking a moment to relax, Draven's voice cuts through.
I mean, I guess, yeah, turn around and spot him. I don't really know how to react to it.
That's fine. I mean, Draven and Simon were actually looking for y'all, so I don't know if Ross expected Draven to actually go out there, but yeah, here he comes through the gate.
The King of Aligon has once again done it! The Savior! The man before you, and he points to Simon. That is he. Not once has a single man stabbed so many demons through their lower gullet with a single dagger. Wielding fire, flame, and ice. The controller of elements. I do not embellish. This man single-handedly killed 7 of them at one time. 7.
Simon gives the most elaborate bow you guys have ever seen.
Is it a kingly bow?
You damn right it is.
Damn.
Yeah, Draven bragged initially coming through the gates, and then immediately was like just preaching how badass Simon was. This dude, gotta watch out for this man. All right, he's our hidden ace.
Yeah, at this point, as the sun begins to go down, you see another large man, not quite as big as some of the others, but older. He is not as old as the man that you guys spoke to coming through the gate initially, but he's probably your age, Ross. Long, kind of dark blonde hair. Looks like red painting or tattoos along his arms. He has a kind of a furred cape. Looks like it's maybe made out of a bear or some type, as the head is kind of it looks like he could pull the head up to kind of cover his head, but it's back at the moment. Large leather, almost like leather gauntlets. I hate to say gauntlets because they're leather, but on either arm, with two looks like probably short swords, one on each side, sheathed. And he comes up, and him and the man with the gray hair kind of share a few words. As this man, the older man, comes down, and it seems as though he is letting the younger one take over. But the older gentleman comes down as you four have kind of gathered here. Well, shall we talk at the mead hall? I am quite hungry, and I could use a drink.
I am for my comrades. See what they've learned. Except these two. It seems they were out fighting as well. And rest. Have your mead. I look at Vec, and once again, there's a bit of that camaraderie. While Simon and Draven seem to have a heroic combat, I feel like we probably, given our fighting styles, had more of a dirty tooth and claw kind of combat, and finding that barbarian kind of dampened the bloodlust for myself. So I don't like seeing people die, though I know it's inevitable. I take this opportunity to give the people I know a nod and start walking the path I know.
Okay. Rowan and Boros, after a couple of hours in here, Rowan, you're pretty much spent. I mean, it doesn't take you long to blow through your spell slots, helping the worst.
Oh yeah, I know.
Boros, you've done everything you can as well. At this point, y'all are both down to where you're just bandaging what you could bandage, maybe help setting bones that are broken. But as far as magics go, your magics are pretty much spent for what healing magic you do have. You do notice some of the worst cases, they do break out a small vial and give it to them just to get them past the worst of it, but it's not enough. It's just to keep them from death's door. You recognize that they are healing potions, but they're very minimal.
I mean, I would have worked on people who are at death's door first.
Right.
and then kind
There's too many.
of work my way down from level of severity.
Yeah, there's too many. Like there are hundreds in here, and your magics only go so far. So
Even with mass heal.
yeah, because you can only affect so many people. It's an area, but this place is huge. So, but you do save more lives. You look around and realize that without you, many of these people probably wouldn't have made it. So, there's that. But
Oh, at any point do I run into Boros, who looks like Rowan?
oh yeah, sure. You see this strange-looking humanoid, and you don't see Boros anywhere.
Suspiciously like you.
It's gonna be kind of like a little tired from having healed so many people. She just kind of stares at this lookalike and kind of points and is like, "Why do you have my face?"
Oh, it was better than having my face to treat these people.
Boros?
Who else?
But why me?
I mean, you're friendly enough.
You could have picked like Simon or Ross or Draven.
Who put the gift finger?
I mean, you were right there. Why would I? Why would I bother?
Fair point. How much longer can you hold this spell?
How long have we been up to this?
It's about 2 hours now.
Okay. I've
Is
had
it an
to-
hour?
It's an hour long each, yeah.
Okay, so you'd have to cast it again.
Yeah. Maybe a few minutes. I could always keep it up for at least a couple more hours.
I don't want to confuse the others.
You see, you see him start thinking, and then that devilish Rowan smile kind of creeps upon him. Like, I think that would be a good plan.
Okay. Shall we go find the others? I'm pretty much spent.
As am I.
All right.
So then we bid farewell. I'm going to kind of like curl my arm into Boros's, kind of like, we're like walking side by side, linked arms and stuff, and we head off looking for our friends.
All right. Well, this is a huge city. Where would you even begin? You know the mead hall, you know the tree, you know Heinrich's lab, and you know the battlefield. That's pretty much the only places you were certain, and the hospital now.
They would have heard what's his face invite us to meet in the mead hall later this evening.
Yeah, I mean he told y'all all that when y'all first came here. So.
Ah, okay, to the mead hall.
And he said he would meet y'all there at sundown, so. Okay. And there you go. So the older gentleman that met you at the gates, he strolls on ahead of Vec and Ross and you guys. But if you guys do meet up at the mead hall, then yeah, you'd see him sitting in here, resting as you guys enter. Again, a lot of head turning, a lot of conversations being had in other languages, or in another language. But you guys, you guys are in the mead hall. Food and mead are free. I'm sure you would get that from Simon and Draven. But as you walk in, you see a host of other people also begin to kind of filter into here, ahead of you and behind you, as others leave and seem to be preparing to fight. As you see some of them hoisting weapons and kind of stretching their arms, and you know how you kind of roll your shoulders and loosen up a little as they begin to, a pretty large group of them begin to head towards the front gates. But with that, you guys step into this mead hall, and I think we're gonna call it there. Wow, yeah, we definitely need to call it there. So next session, which I think 2 people cannot make it next week, correct? Ross and Andres.
Oh.
I know Ross is not going to be here.
Yeah. No, actually, I'm good for next week.
Okay.
It's the week after.
Okay. If it's just Ross that can't make it next week, we'll go ahead and have session. You know, one person, not too bad. So.
I'll give somebody my notes.
Okay. Everybody else look good for next week?
I always look good, dude.
That should be good.
I
Make sure to brush my fur.
Okay, well, we'll call it there. Next week we'll see what information y'all can gather from Qualkek. But with that, I bid you farewell, watchers. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're new here, welcome to Abracadagger. And tell your friends, leave a comment, get the word out there. But mash all them buttons, and we will see y'all next week. Thanks for watching. Have a good week.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.